In the floor, two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is episode 982 of the Two Dum Yinzers. I want to say to everybody today, welcome back to the show. A lot to get into today here in the Berg. The sports scene is heavy this weekend. Steelers wrap up OTAs. So much more. Michael, how are you?
You know what? I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm flying high. I had the energy drink in and a nap before the show, a shower. I'm fired up, brother.
Any big plans for the weekend? You always have something going on the weekend, either whether it's Chuck E. Cheese, whether it's birthday parties, whether it's trips to Ohio. What's the big plans for the weekend, man?
Actually, Saturday, I got to go after I work. I have to drive to my parents' house and help my brother build a shed. It's the big plans. Big plans.
Yeah. So there you go. Never a dull moment on your weekend.
Mike leaves an exciting life. I wish I was Vanilla Thunder because he told me he's going to party all weekend.
We know that. We know that's true. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Glad to see us today. This is, again, the Friday installment of the Two Dum Yinzers. I want to say what's up. Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you be tuning in from today. We do want to say welcome back. Yeah. Mike, a couple days ago, apparently I missed this. There was, I think, Wednesday, on Jeopardy, Pittsburghers was a category, and I think they only got 4 questions out of the way. But I do have the questions. We're gonna do those here in a little bit to see how much we know about Pittsburghers. Also, Mike, we have a lot going on again this weekend. We have all of our teams, all of our low pro teams, our Buccos, and also even the UFL, Mike, having their championship weekend. So it is a sports-filled weekend, not just here in Pittsburgh, but all over the place. And we also have 2 sets of finals going on in this country as well. We'll talk about that here shortly. So much going on. And also, Mike, we have a an event, I guess you could say. Maybe not so much an event, but we are putting something together here on the show, and we talked a little bit about yesterday. We'll get more into that today. So much going on. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let me say what's up to everybody on the board. Great seeing John Anthony back on the terrible board, my man. Great seeing you. Hope everything is well for you. Heading into the weekend, we're inching closer and closer and closer to Steelers season, guys, as the OTAs wrap up this week, getting ready for rookie school next week. And then, Mike, and then we have a little bit of a break between next week and camp. We're not taking the break, but the Steelers have the break, the time off, and that gives them a little bit of time to recoup, as it's been a tough set of OTAs and mini camp this year. So a lot to talk about as we get ready to head into this weekend. Let me say what's up to my man Cody, all the way from down in Texas. Cody says, I don't know how to fix this loading problem. And, I was messing around. I used a couple different sources. I used my phone. I used my computer. I'm pissing around last night on YouTube, trying to see if I ran into any problems. And I wasn't running into any. So I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe perhaps weather. I know that I just don't know how long this has been happening for you, Cody. We do apologize. I hope you get things fixed on your end. But again, maybe the weather, it's been awfully rainy, cloudy, all this kind of stuff recently across our great nation. So perhaps this has something to do with it. I don't know. And if it's something on our end, we do apologize and we hope to get it fixed for you. I just have no idea what the hell it could be. Let's go right here.
I wish I knew.
Let me jump up real quick. I do want to say what's up to my man. Tortilla on the board, all the way from Sacramento, California. Tortilla said, Cody, on that Taco Bell Wi-Fi.
Oh, snap.
So maybe that's what it'd be. I don't know if that's a stab at our Mexican friend or what that was all about, but you know what? Perhaps he is on the Taco Bell Wi-Fi. Like,
could be.
Let's move down the list. Let's go right here to Corey at Don't Drink That. He says, so what's up, guys? I need your help. I have two options for my episode Monday. Baron Trump, the Time Traveler, which I love. You know that. Also, Baron Trump, or a video about the Antichrist. Both very exciting to make. But what would you guys want to hear? I'm torn. I would like either one of them, to be honest. As a matter of fact, you throw up 10 stories that are conspiracy theories, chances are I'm going to like 9 of them. So for me personally, I'm open for the surprise. I'm ready to watch whatever you choose. But I think that certainly Baron Trump, the Antichrist has been around for thousands of years. Baron Trump's kind of a new conspiracy theory in the thick of things. So maybe Baron Trump, but again, at the end of the day, it wouldn't bother me one way or the other. I could get into both of them. Do go check out Corey. Don't Drink That right here. It's Conspiracy Theory Podcast on YouTube. Don't miss it. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of cool content. Go check Corey out right here on YouTube. But Don't Drink That. I do want to say what's up to Tortilla, my man, all the way from Sacramento, California. Tortilla says this: I'm not going out this week, and I don't want the Knicks fans to jump me from across the country. It is getting brutal. They're jumping people that are supporting the Spurs, wearing Spurs clothing. And it's getting crazy, guys. That series we'll talk about here in just a moment. Let's go to my man right here, Tortilla. He did say the Taco Bell Wi-Fi, and then he follows it up by saying L Internet for the L Internet. Cody says more like Penn State Wi-Fi. Like
Penn State Wi-Fi runs silky smooth. Silky smooth.
Let's continue on. Let's go down to Corey. Corey says, Baron Trump it is. I got more on that anyway. LOL. Thanks, Ryan. Sorry for no, dude. You're good. We love you, Corey. Anytime, man. Never a problem. Let's go down to see what Tortilla's got going on. He says Penn State using landlines and fax machines. That's why Aller sucks. Perhaps they were sending over the instructions on how to coach a quarterback. And it got lost in the fax, baby. Cody says Donald Trump's son married Jeffrey Epstein's daughter. I don't know. You know what? I listen, I'm not going to get into it, but the one that I find really interesting is Max Lynn Gyllenhaal, whatever the hell her name is, Epstein's wife. Her real daddy, he owned the textbook company that made all the textbooks that we grew up reading as children, our school textbooks. Interesting. I don't know. Just come on. I mean, they're involved with this, that, the other. Who knows what these people are involved with? And he just happened to own the textbook company that we all learn from. So there you go. Do what you want with that. Spend time looking into it. I think that it's all, again, I'm just a conspiracy theory guy. I could get into all of it. Tortilla says, good thing I can't read. Lots going on.
This is why you're number one on the friends list. You can't understand a word I'm saying about you when I write it down.
There you go. So much to get into today, Mike. Let's start on some sports here that are outside of the gridiron. Our Pittsburgh Pirates, they lose last night 8-6. They fall one game. They get one win out of 3 against the Dodgers, which I didn't really expect much more. We usually have success against them when they're good, and we're not. Not so much this year, but you know what? We held our own, with the exception of that first game where the bullpen really exploded. Games 2 and 3 were not bad. They could have been games that we certainly could have been in had we had decent bullpen. That is what's killing us. But the Pirates lose 8-6, Mike. They fall to 35-34 on the season. But they'll be back at it tonight, having a chance to make up that ground as they start a 3-game set against the Florida Marlins, or the Miami Marlins, I guess you would say, today at 6:40, game 1 of 3.
Let's go. This team is so close to breaking out. You know, we need a sweep here. Let's get on the right track.
I agree. Let's get some wins, and again, get this problem fixed now. Don't wait till the end of friggin' July and worry about your bullpen, because you won't even be in the race. You won't be in the hunt at that point. So get in. Yeah.
Let's say, from what I've heard, take it with a grain of salt. The sources that I got, it's like they've been actively trying to get reliever help, especially the guy from Colorado.
Yeah,
I forget the reliever's name, but apparently the asking price is high right now. Like they want like a prospect and a current player off the major league roster. My thought process is, if you think you're a good team, you go ahead, you make that trade. You know, Jared Chirolo, good luck, Godspeed. I don't think it's him that's involved in it, but if you have to make a move, you have to make a move. If you're a serious ball club and if you're a serious team with thoughts of actually contending, sometimes you have to give up something to get something else in return. You have to give from a strength to strengthen a weakness. So do it now, and you still have time before the trade deadline, because relievers are going to be the big commodity come trade deadline, not your infielders or outfielders and stuff like that. You can find those guys cheaper than a reliever. Make a move now. Overpay now if you have to, and then make the cheaper moves down the line to where you can, round out the ball club. You got to give to get.
I love what you said, but there's a problem.
Yeah. The
Pittsburgh Pirates don't know how to win.
I know. They
just so happen to put together a really good team that's winning enough. However, Mike, they don't. The general manager, the team don't know how to do this. This is not surprising me one bit that we're stuck in this position. We've been stuck in this position for the last month. We could probably have about 45 wins had we attacked this issue. But I'm not sure that the Pirates know how to fix these problems. I'm not sure they know how to win. I'm not sure they know how to do any of what you just said. I agree with you 100%, and it is what needs to be done. However, I'm not confident in the system to get the job done, unfortunately. So I think that it'll be ultimately another shit-out season. They're going to wait way too long. They're going to start bringing in relief pitching whenever they probably should be selling at that point. Mike, they're just, again, this bullpen is going to kill them. They do have elite pitching, starting pitching. They do have upgraded, Mike. They scored more runs than any Pirate team in 100 years so far, and they are like third in the league in scoring runs. So, I mean, the team's not a bad team. It's just they don't know how to fix problems that they have, obviously, and I think that's ultimately going to be what kills our Pirates this year. Again, please prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Let's get into Mike, some football. Not the pigskin that we all know, but the other football, Mike. Our Pittsburgh squads, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they will be hosting Indy 11 tomorrow. That's a 7:00 start, and then our gals, Mike, the Riveters, they will be hosting Erie Sports this weekend as well, and then they'll be heading up to play Erie Sports on Sunday. So they do have Saturday and Sunday games, both against Erie Sports, one here, one there. That is our soccer team. On top of, I think there's a whole soccer thing going on around the world that people are starting to get excited about as well, isn't there?
Yeah, the World Cup kicked off yesterday, actually. Mexico versus South Africa opened it up yesterday. Mexico won 2-0. 3 players were ejected from the game. South Africa had 2 men kicked off, and then Mexico thought, that was... They wanted to join the party too, and they had a guy kicked off as well. It was a wild opening game down in Mexico. And then I think the Czech Republic and South Korea played. And South Korea, dude scored a goal. He bent the laws of physics. I don't know what I saw. It was unreal. People are going crazy at these stadiums, dancing, having a good old time. fans are getting drunk with fans from other countries. I saw a little Asian dude get thrown up in the air by the Mexicans, and they were just having a blast. I'm fucking loving this shit, dude.
It's crazy to me that people from other countries could get together and have such a good time, but people from other teams in our own country
I know, right?
can't walk down the street without somebody beating them up because of their jersey. It's absolutely fucking nutty, but that's what's going on, Mike. Also, we do have a little pigskin action going on this weekend, of course, with our Pittsburgh Passion, our ladies, Mike. They are hosting Cincinnati tomorrow. That's going to be the last game of their regular season as the Passion are sitting at 4-1, looking to wrap up their regular season tomorrow and get ready for the playoffs. Also, Mike, talking about that pigskin now, you want to see some championship football? Tune in tomorrow at 3:00 p.m. The UFL Championship will be taking place as DC versus Louisville is the championship game, Mike. Tomorrow in the UFL, 3:00. That's going to wrap up the UFL season in its entirety. And that is, again, just another step to get telling us that we're getting closer to Steelers season. So UFL, Mike, in the championship game, and the Pittsburgh Passion in their last game of the season. So we on all and everything that we watch and monitor, it shows us how far along we're getting. It's all coming close to ending, Mike.
Yeah, those checkpoints, those landmarks they're coming up faster and faster and faster, man. I mean, if we could just make it through the next week and a half, man, it would be right around the corner. It feels like the guys will be reporting. I'm excited. And
then finally, Mike, a couple series right here that are going on in the championship level in our four major sports. Basketball and hockey. You got the Carolina Hurricanes. I have the Golden Knights of Vegas here on the show. In your Carolina Hurricanes, they win last night 4-2 to go up 3-2 in the series. Mike, game 6 will be Sunday at 8:00. It will be at Vegas, but Mike, the Carolina Hurricanes have a chance to wrap it up Sunday. If they win, that will be it. Otherwise, Vegas has to win, and it will go back to Carolina for a 7th game. But as of right now, Mike, after 5, it is 3-2 Carolina.
3-2 Carolina. Carolina, it looks like they're getting to their game. They were flying around, just control and play a lot. I think Carolina locks it up. And I hope they do. I need this win.
And finally, Mike, the New York Knicks and the San Antonio Spurs, they will play tomorrow at 8:30. This will be game 5, as the Knicks are up 3-1 over the Spurs. Game 5 tomorrow at tomorrow's actually at San Antonio. I'm sorry.
San Antonio.
This will be down in Texas. So hopefully, Mike, the Spurs could win and stay in this thing. Otherwise, the Knicks walk away with a 4-1 series championship. So again, a lot of sports going on this weekend. It's I know that we're all anxious, chomping at the bit to get the Steelers season, but Mike, at the end of the day, we do have some things to hold us over as we do all off season every year. We'll certainly be paying attention to all this stuff and so much more. I did say this, guys, that Pittsburghers, I don't know if anybody caught this, but Pittsburghers was a category on Jeopardy on Wednesday. I had missed it. I just found this out yesterday, Mike, and they only got through 4 of the questions. But I want to go through these 4 questions real quick to see how we do. Let's talk, and let's see how you do. Let's see how the board does. And I'm going to be honest with you, Mike, they're not particularly easy questions. Let's real quick. We'll go through this. These were the 4 answers on Jeopardy on Wednesday under the category Pittsburghers. I'm going to read them, see if you know the answer. Let's kind of blow through this real quick, Mike.
Let's do this.
Let's go in number 1. The first question was, at top Pittsburgh Magazine's 50 Greatest Pittsburghers, this TV personality never left a letter from a child unanswered. Mike, what would be your guess for that question?
Who is Mr. Rogers?
Who is Mr. Rogers? That is correct. Mike, Pittsburghers for 200. Here we go. Life was sadly not an amusement ride park for this engineer who gave his name to one. He died in Pittsburgh, aged 37, in 1896. Mike, do you have any guess on who this might be?
Who is Westinghouse?
Who is Westinghouse? That is incorrect. So sorry.
Damn.
The answer is the question. The question is, who is George Washington Gale Ferris Jr.? George Washington Gale Ferris Jr. is the answer to this. Mike, let's go to Pittsburghers for 600. The city breathed and saw easier after Mayor David Lawrence said in 1946, our people want this, the subject of the 1970 Federal Act.
Oh, God, what is the Clean Air Act?
It is the Clean Air Act. Correct. That is correct. Let's go on to Mike. Finally, Pittsburghers for 800. This is the question or the answer. Here we go. Number 4, longtime Pitt professor Dr. Thomas Starzl achieved the first of these transplants later received by Jim Neighbors and David Crosby. Mike.
What is a heart transplant?
What is a heart transplant? Oh, so sorry. So sorry. It is, in fact, the liver. The liver.
Damn it.
Plant.
Damn it. That was my backup answer.
And they didn't get to number 5, Mike, so I don't know what the question was, but you did well. For Jeopardy, you got 2 out of 4, so congratulations. Yeah. We should have had you wager money and see how you did, but nonetheless, guys, great job, Mike. That was, again, Wednesday. It was Pittsburghers was a category on Jeopardy. So Pittsburgh finds its way on Jeopardy quite often, actually, if you do pay attention. Let's get back to the board. I want to say what's up to everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 982, 18 shows away from the big 1,000. I'm going to be working a lot this weekend in preparation, Mike, as we do have a lot of things planned. And again, that is just 18 shows away. Won't be long. Let's get back to the board right here where Cody says Donald Trump's son married Jeffrey Epstein's daughter. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla Jackson says, good thing I can't read. Corey over Don't Drink That says, yep, and Epstein bought the company that takes all of our kids' pictures, so they had like a fucking menu to pick from. Fucking sick. I did read something like that along the way as well. Tortilla says, I was competing with billionaires in middle school. I do want to say what's up to my man Tyrone in the house. Always great seeing Ty. JPJ the GOAT. How are you doing, man? I was wondering about you. I hope you're feeling a little bit better. Things are getting better for you heading into the weekend. My man Ty. Let's go down to Tortilla. Tortilla says this Skeens will pitch a perfect game against the A's. You know what? He's eventually gonna get it done. He's gonna get a perfect game or a no-hitter. It's just a matter of when, in my opinion. Like, he is that good. It's going to catch us off guard because usually we see a game against the team that we think, oh, you know what, Skeens is going to blow these guys away. And for whatever reason, the offense forgets to hit the baseball that day.
Yeah.
But one day we'll get it all together. I swear to you. And Paul Skeens will get that big game.
It will happen eventually. When? I do not know. But it will happen eventually. Maybe when he's a Dodger.
Perhaps. Let's go to Ty. Ty says Skeens and Chase Burns from the Reds' best pitchers in the hands down right now. Let's go to Cody. Cody says, I can't tell if you're talking about the Pirates or the Steelers. It was sounding awfully similar there for a while, I do admit, Cody. Just Learning, what's up? Always great seeing Just Learning on a terrible board. He says, Knicks fans have no class. Now I'm going for the Spurs. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is. And the fact of the matter is the Knicks haven't won anything yet. So could you imagine what the city will look like once if in fact they do win? Come on.
It's so funny, like when teams win anymore, the fans just want to destroy the city.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing what's coming of a lot of things in our country. Let's go here. Cody says Cam Shitlitter is better than Paul Skeens. There you go. Let's go to Tortilla Jackson. He says this, you don't see Spurs fans acting like that because everyone in Texas is packing. The Heat, even Cats got straps. I don't know. New York's a pretty they got their own share of issues up there as well. So I don't know. Who knows? I know that New York is very, very large by population, and I know Texas is very, very large by population. So maybe you should all just meet together somewhere midway and duke it out. I don't know. I don't have any other answers.
Just walk down with the snowball to Texas and throw it at them. You guys will go running quietly.
They'll all start wrecking their cars.
You're like, oh my God, a snowball, a snowflake. Oh no.
Let's continue on.
No offense to the Texans who are watching.
No, of course not.
It's good fun.
We're just going by what we see on the news. Let's go to Corey. Corey says, what's crazy is we could watch soccer with China and high-five them, and then the media turns around and talks about hitting them with missiles. Wild shit. I always thought that was strange, too, especially with soccer, because soccer is, wildly popular, and there's countries like Saudi Arabia or Iraq or countries that don't agree with this country or countries that don't agree with that country. They're playing each other in soccer in these tournaments and things like this. And, they get together long enough to play, but they absolutely hate one another. And these were just two names I threw out there. United States could be one, any country could be involved in shit, which they usually are with other countries around the world. But soccer seems to bring people together, and I'm not against that. I'm not a big soccer fan, but again, at the end of the day, I'm certainly not against it. Bringing folks together. Let's continue down here to Cody. Cody says this: once you pass the "Don't mess with Texas" sign coming into Texas, then they give you a pack of Lone Star beer and a pistol. Hey, I'm not taking anything away from Texas. I'm not. Let's go to Tortilla. 24-hour media sole purpose is to scare people. I couldn't agree with you more. I think that there's a lot going on that average people aren't even realizing. Let's go to Tortilla. Who is Richard Mendenhall? That was close on one of the questions, of course, from Jeopardy. Let's go. Corey. Corey says this: Nikola Tesla was one of his. Arsenio Hall, Cody had as one of his as well. Tortilla Jackson says Richard Mendenhall and De'Aaron Fox should start a book club. Somber says, sup, fuckers? What's up, dude? Always great seeing Somber on the board. My man, all the way from right outside of Los Angeles, California. Great seeing you, brother. Hope things are well heading into this weekend. Hope everybody's staying nice and cool. I knew it's getting hot here, Mike. It's been in the high 80s all week. I think we're supposed to get some precipitation through the weekend, and maybe it will cool down a bit for us, but we will see. Let's go back to Just Learning. Just Learning says Ryan would make a good Jeopardy host with the emphasis on the voice. As a matter of fact, it was from years of watching Jeopardy how I did adopt some of those terms I was using, like so sorry. That was big for Alex Trebek, was always so big sorry on the so sorries. Appreciate that, though, my friend. Let's continue down here to Cody. Cody says, what up, Unc? Always great seeing Cody in the house. Cody is 30, by the way. Cody is 30. Cody, are you really 30? No, Cody's not 30.
Oh, my God.
I don't know.
He might be. Just a baby.
He might be. Tortilla says New York and Texas can duke it. Yeah, there you go. In Ohio, there you go. Now if you want to tear a place down, that's the place to go. Go to Ohio and tear the shit down and have your New York versus Texas battle right there in Ohio, Mike.
Yeah, there's a couple towns you can come to. You can tear them down for me. I actually come to my hometown. I would appreciate it. Tear that shithole off the face of the earth, except for my street, of course. You know where I live. It's a nice little cozy neighborhood, but everything else can go.
Let's go right here. Go to Cody. He says, haha, touche. I think that's what he's saying. Let's go here to Tyrone. Cody's 50 in dog years. 50 in dog years. So that makes him roughly just past 7 years old in real life. Let's go to...
That explains a lot.
Or 350, just depending on which way you're going to look at it. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says, nerd. Guys, so much stuff to get into, but I just want to talk about one more thing before we do entirely get into our Pittsburgh sports for the day. Mike, yesterday we did talk about the competition we are going to have here on the show for Gay Pride Month. We don't leave anybody out. No, we don't.
No,
Mike, we don't. Never have. We never will. Here on Gay Pride Month, we are having a competition between Mike and Derpy. And Mike, we're going to, and here's the thing. I was going to have something set up for you today. However, I need to get some information from you to get these profiles set up. I'm going to make a profile for Mike, and I'm going to make a profile for Derpy. And we're going to see who could get more dudes, who could draw more dudes through a gay dating website. Obviously, neither of the guys are gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but this is what we're going to do for Gay Pride Month. We're going to see which one of our two crew members can pull more ass, if you will, from the gay dating website. Mike, just a few things that I need to find out from you before I do start. It's asking simple questions like, what are your body types? And here are some body types that I need you to help me choose from. A twink. A twink is a young, slender, and usually hairless gay man. A young, slender, and usually hairless gay man. That is a twink. I don't think you fall into that category. Second, Mike.
I don't think so. I don't think I fall into that category.
Second, Mike, this right here, this is going to be a bear. Mike, this might be more down your street. A bear is a larger, hairier, and often heavier set gay man. This might be where you get in, Mike, as I start making these profiles.
I think we're onto something on there.
All right.
I was Big Bear last Pride.
You were Big Bear last year, Mike. An otter, a slender or lean man with significant body hair. Like a slender or a lean man. I don't think that follows you.
That does not describe me at all, brother.
So far, so you were a bear, Mike. Now the next one on the list is a twunk. A twunk. A twunk is a leaner, muscular man combining features of a twink and a hunk. A twunk.
They might be describing coding on that one.
All right, and then the last option, Mike, is a cub, a younger or huskier bear. Mike, this will be
Derpy.
This is probably going to be Derpy.
That's Derpy.
Again, I still need more questions. I'm going to get them off you. I will have these profiles prepared and ready for Monday morning so we could hit the ground running with it. But, Mike, this month we're going to see who can land more ass for Gay Pride Month, Derpy or Mike, right here on the show. So that is all going to start, Mike. I'm going to work hard on it this weekend. Lots of great things coming up, Mike. Again, there's going to be downtime from the Steelers between next week and then between camp. So we do have a lot of extra fun things we're going to be doing, and we do have planned the trip here, the along the way. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get back on the board. Now we're going to get into all Steeler talk for the duration, guys. Let's hop back into it right here where Corey says this: they don't take the war to Cleveland and leave Gaza alone. They should take the war to Cleveland and leave Gaza alone. Sorry about that. Hey, if it happens, it happens.
We can like I said, we could take it to my hometown.
Take it
bunch of white trash and fentanyl addicts. It might be an improvement.
I think that's America. Every town, any town USA anymore. But hey, what do I know? Let's go here to Corey. Corey follows that up by saying, that's better than what I thought you were going to do. I was scared. Oh, I like this idea. You guys are going to be bobbing for hunt dogs, Mike.
Let's go.
All right. Hey, you never know. You never know what you might see. Somber says, wowzers. Tyrone says, is Derpy alive? I haven't seen him in other chats or talking. You know what? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine is. I don't see him in other chats or anything either, and that was how I kept track of him. When like other things he was doing because he was so neglectful here. I don't know. Maybe he's dead. Maybe he's dead. That would suck for the competition, of course, but let's hope he's all right. I guess. Let's continue on. Let's go. Somber says, "Can we not? Can we not?" Cody says, "Is Finch alive? Laugh my ass off. He went to Vegas and never came back."
You're not wrong.
I know. It's all good. Somber says Derpy is a walrus. As Mike is Big Bear, Derpy will be the walrus. Let's go here to Cody. What is your social security number? And finally, Tyrone says, yeah, Miss Finch. Yeah, for sure. Maybe I'll get a hold of him this week and see what's going on. Steeler time, baby. Let's get into Steeler talk. That's what it's all about. Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is episode 982. Time to get back at it. And also one other thing, Mike, I'm leaning toward three particular sites. One is Grindr. Of course, everybody's heard of Grindr. If you're gay, if you're not gay, I think just if you're a human being, you probably may know this.
Yeah,
also,
on social
Mike,
media anywhere.
Only men instead of only fans. Only men is the second option, and the third one is Squirt. So these are the three that I'm going to try to be narrowing it down this weekend, Mike.
Just on name alone, Squirt might be the front runner. I don't want to poison the well, but that might be a front runner.
All right. So between Grindr, Only Men, and Squirt, I got a lot to work on this weekend, as you can see. A lot of things I have to get figured out. Corey,
I could never, in school, when they asked that question, where do you see yourself in the future? I never thought I'd be answering the question, running a YouTube channel with my buddy, trying to figure out what gay dating site we're going to be on to see who can pull the most ass. And no, I am not gay. Wouldn't
that have been something in your yearbook? It would have been most likely to be on a podcast talking about your what name you're going to use on the platform Squirt. Pull ass. Corey says this. He says Derpy is in a Oreo coma. And then also Cody says, yeah, you know what? Every once in a while he pops up in our group chat that we have, our private group chat. I see Derpy popping in. So he's still alive. Finch is questionable, though. Let's go to Cody. Cody says the Smurfs got out of Derpy's basement and is probably outside chasing them down in his underwear looking like Phil Margera. Don't that make you want to punch the shit out of Derpy when he's being compared to Phil Margera? And finally, Somber. There we go, guys. Let's get into some Steeler talk. Can we? Welcome, everybody, back to the show. Guys, OTAs wrap up this week. And also, Mike, we do have Mike McCarthy Rookie School next week. I believe it's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from what I did read early on, unless it changed or that was not accurate. But from what I do understand, Mike McCarthy rookie school will be next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Rookies will stick around for an extra few days to go over some individual work with the coaches. I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is a good thing, rather, Mike. But this is what's going on with the Steelers. Also, there's so much that people are just getting really excited about because the buzz, the word, everything coming out of Pittsburgh Steeler OTAs and camp it's all great. We haven't heard anything, I think, that's worrisome about this football team, and I think that has people very excited, to be honest with you, Mike. Whether you think this team's going to do something, even a lot of people that are skeptical, they're not so loud anymore. For example, where's Tater been? I kind of been using him as a monitor to see, kind of where fans outside of Pittsburgh, what they think and what they feel. And as I said, Mike, he's kind of disappeared like that Peter Griffin meme as soon as, again, things continue to look good for us this offseason.
Yeah, he disappeared into the wind, changed teams and hasn't been talking smack at all. Even like online, you see Browns and Bengals fans going at each other's throats, Bengals and Ravens fans going at each other's throats. And then, like, no one really talking shit on the Steelers that much anymore. It's like, I don't know if they think, we're just going to be that bad, or there's nothing exciting for them to talk about us, or we're just on the pay no mind list. But it's just weird, and the way it's going right now, to where, like, are these teams secretly afraid of us, or are they slowly realizing all the shit talking that they've done is going to come to bite them in the ass, and they're not, putting out any ammunition right now at the moment?
Absolutely, Mike. I think it could be a little bit of all of it, to be honest with you. It just does seem like when we're told we're going to be down is when we play our best football. It's always been like that. As a matter of fact, I always use the example of the early 2000s when we kind of had the upper hand in a lot of things. We were dominating. We were getting this one seed. We were getting the week off the bye in the playoffs, and then we would shit the bed. The Steelers always seemed to be a better team from the ground up, opposed to having that the accolades and all the good things being said about them constantly. It seems like they're a team that likes to prove themselves. And Mike, that doesn't surprise me in the AFC North. That's just the style. It's not pretty. It never is. But you know what? AFC North football is a beast of its own, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the king of it. Say what you want. I know the Baltimore Ravens have won their share of titles in the division. Even Cincinnati's won a few. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's any doubt to anybody, even if you don't want to admit it. Maybe you're from Baltimore, maybe you're from Cincinnati, you might not want to admit it. But at the end of the day, the Pittsburgh Steelers are the king of the AFC North. No two ways about it, Mike, as they're always regarded as a top franchise in the whole NFL. So at the end of the day, Mike, I think it's a little bit of everything that you might have mentioned. But we'll get into so much more about this and a lot more today. Let's talk first about let me say this real quick. The Steelers did bring in, Mike, we just talked recently briefly about the UFL Championship. We do have somebody, Mike, that's here from the Houston Gamblers working out with the Steelers this week. Also, his name is Jay Joyner. He's a defensive end. I just wanted to throw that in there, Mike, of the 40-some names that's not going to be on this team here in another 6 weeks. It's just another name that you're probably going to see brought in and left, Mike. But Jay Joyner is a defensive end from the UFL. Just because we do have the UFL Championship tomorrow, I did want to at least bring that up. But again, the UFL has their championship game tomorrow. So if you're looking for a good UFL game to watch, I guess this would be the best one, Mike, considering it's the championship. And should be, in fact, the two best teams in the league.
It should be. And hopefully it's a good game, because I read something like the viewership has increased from last year to this year, but the actual home attendance for the teams has gone down. Okay. So it's a weird signal, man. People are watching it more on TV, aren't going. I get it, cost of, just living and cost of entertainment dollars are off the charts. So it's easier to watch at home. But, hopefully they put out a good game. Yeah,
I hope so too. I'll be watching. I guess the big question a lot of people had from yesterday, if you have the answer to this, I don't have the answer to it. But, Mike, where was Roman Wilson? Roman Wilson absent yesterday at OTAs, somebody that probably needs to be there working as hard as anybody else. And Mike, any word on what Roman Wilson missed practice for yesterday?
No, there was no word whatsoever. I don't know. I know it wasn't mandatory for him to be there. Maybe he had, you never know. Like, guys have stuff that come up sometimes that just like life stuff, like any other job, stuff comes up. You can't, put off, or maybe he was excused by the team. Like, hey, you're doing good. Let's let some of these younger guys get in, take a look ski. It could be something like that. I don't think it's anything serious, like him skipping just to skip. Could just be, hey, he needed a day. The team gave him a day.
Mike, do we have quality depth? Here's my question about the wide receiver room. Of course, Roman Wilson is a big part of this. The quality, do we have quality depth in this wide receiver room? Of course, everybody's thrilled with DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman. And again, in my opinion, Mike, we would have never seen these moves even happen prior to Omar Khan. So the fact that we do have DK Metcalf lining up opposite side Michael Pittman, I think is a big thing for Steeler fans, obviously. So, Mike, do we have enough quality depth to fill out this room? I mean, at the end of the day, Roman Wilson's a question mark. Jeremy Bernard, of course, a lot is expected of him, but he's going to be a rookie, so there's going to be give and take with that. And then beyond that, Ben Skoranek, and I'm not even sure what else is going on down beneath that. Mike, is there enough quality? Do we have a good enough depth in our wide receiver room to carry the wide receiver room? Because otherwise, like last year, we were depending on DK Metcalf to do everything.
Yeah.
Do we have a decent enough depth in this wide receiver room to carry a pretty successful football team that could win games into January?
If Metcalf and Pittman stay healthy and you get from Jeremy what you think you're going to get from him as a rookie, that's pretty good 1-2-3 punch right there. And then if Roman Wilson can actually develop and be a good player, that's a nice 1-2-3-4, and Skoranek as your fifth. Not a bad option as your fifth and special teams guy. But, you notice the key word I said in there, if.
See, here's my key word that I took from that. If he's good enough.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. You're competing with NFL teams. You have guys that are multimillionaires who are the best at what they do, top-class athletes, and we're going, well, if our fourth guy and our fifth guy are good enough. That's the question. This is why I'm asking the question. Yes, we have a guy there. We assume that they're going to be in these spots, and we think that it might work out, and we're pretty confident of it. But at the end of the day, other teams spend a lot of money at positions, and again, defensive backs are really good in this league nowadays. Is our wide receiver room? I mean, because again, at the top, it's very nice.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman? And then on the other hand, who wouldn't? I mean, everybody's looking at these rookie wide receivers. There was a plethora of them that came out this year, so we're feeling good there.
Yeah.
Again, the big question mark being Roman Wilson down on the list because, again, Ben Skoranek is Ben Skoranek. He's a special teams guy mostly. But can these guys come through and make the big plays when needed? And I'm talking the question mark Roman Wilson. I'm talking Ben Skoranek and whoever else they fill out the bottom of the wide receiver room with, Mike. But again, yes, please, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. It's just like it's hard, for any team to have top to bottom depth from 1 through 5, 1 through 6 at any position. So you're going to have some drop off, but can they come in and produce? We saw flashes from Skoranek and flashes from Roman Wilson. If you want, maybe go look at a vet just in case. If you want a little bit more depth at that position and sacrifice depth somewhere else, maybe on the D line or O line, I would be okay with that because more depth at your skill positions, I'm all for. I'm all for that. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'm comfortable right now going in with this group, but I want to see through training camp and I want to see in the preseason. But I'm not opposed to bringing in a veteran receiver who's had some success in the NFL towards the twilight of their career, but they're not being counted on to be the number 2 or number 3 than where they were in the past couple of years. If you're going to bring them in to be like your 5th receiver, I'm okay with that because better depth at that position is good because it's a vital position. But right now, I'm comfortable the way it's looking at with our top 5. But I want to see that continue through training camp and into the preseason games. Now, if Rome's out there looking lost, okay, now we got to go. We definitely got to go find a guy either through trade, free agency, or wait for a cut down day because there's going to be a lot of guys available on cut down day and see if we can get one of the better receivers that's a camp casualty and get one of those guys in at the tail end. But right now I'm comfortable, but I'm always down for adding more skill position depth.
My thing about Roman, I got to say this, guys. Listen, there's been a lot of dummies that were some peak athletes. And at the end of the day, what the fuck has he done? What is he not getting? You know what I'm saying? The league is filled with, I don't know, hundreds of or thousands. I don't know how many people are in the league, but at the end of the day, not all of them are fucking brains. We know this. What is it? What is it that's keeping Roman back at the end of the day? Again, at the end of the day, last year, you're watching him play. He's not running backwards like we've seen in the past. He's not dropping the ball that's thrown right to him like we've seen in the past by receivers. Like he's doing things that, again, look relatively fine. So whatever the hell it is that we're missing, and the fact if it goes from one coach to the next, I'm going to be very concerned what the hell Roman's deal is because, again, I just don't understand what the problem seems to be. With Roman Wilson, it's not splitting the atom. It's not rocket science. You're playing football, bro. Whatever it was that you did your whole life, just continue to do it and learn a little bit about it. Get a tutor. I don't know what the fuck you got to do, but at some point, Mike, I'm a bit confused. But Roman Wilson was absent yesterday at the OTAs, Mike. We'll see if he continues to improve his game, as I think he needs to for this team, because you lose a player. Let's say you lose a receiver. God forbid you lose one of your top wide receivers for a significant amount of time. All of a sudden, Roman becomes a pretty important part of this football team. So I'd like to know what the hell's going on with him, and it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Whatever it is, we've heard about 4 or 5 things that came out, and a couple of them seem credible. But at the end of the day, there's been a lot of dummies that's played this game when it's all said and done, and you know what? They figured it out. So whatever you got to do, just fucking do it. I don't know what to say. The guy's been in the league for 2 years, and he's played a handful of snaps. Of course, the injury held him back rookie year, but last year, third season, Mike. And again, I don't know if this was kind of a Tomlin thing because even Darnell Washington wasn't getting, I thought, his diligence until the third season of his career. So again, we'll see if these things kind of play out under a different coaching staff. But Coach Tomlin didn't seem to mind taking long periods of time for people to get over an injury or whatever it may be. So let's see. We'll follow that. I got to figure out what the hell's going on with him, Mike, because I don't see it. I seen him fuck up one time at the end of the year with that fumble. He jumps up in the air, and that's. For a guy
it's a football play, it happens
in the league. The guy, at that point, 2 years in, but he's still basically a rookie. The guy doesn't play. So again, for what it was, I thought that he did more good than wrong at that point. So it's going to be something that I'm going to continue to follow closely because I just can't. I can say that I don't understand what the hell's going on with this kid.
Was it a Roman Wilson thing? Was it a Tomlin thing? Was it an Artie Smith thing? I want to see it too because I liked when he was out there. He was getting open. He was making plays. And he said the one bad play, and then you never saw him again.
I agree.
Like when the receiver depth was terrible, like this guy was getting open. So don't know what it is, but from reports early in camp and early in the offseason, he's looking good. He's looking like a good player. So I hope he has it, but because the reports right now are looking like he's tracking to be, a key contributor on this team, and we saw the ability. He could do it.
I was under the impression that he was a really good wide receiver. Again, I just don't understand what's going on. So, this will be something to continue to watch as the season comes around. Who knows? I don't know. I can't even begin to speculate, Mike. Again, I could start throwing some of the things out that's been said to this point. But again, it's a big question mark for me. So we will continue to follow along with that. But let's jump back on the board. I do want to keep up with everybody today heading into the weekend, guys. Great seeing everybody on the terrible board. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you guys. Welcome back. Corey says, wait, is Finch not a dumb? He's a Dum Yinzer. But again, I don't know. I don't know what his deal is right now. So we will find out eventually because I am going to hopefully have everybody on for the big 1000th episode. So I should be talking to him somewhat soon. Let's go to Tyrone. He says, Cody is Hulk. Let's go to Tortilla. Finch is trying to save New York right now.
He could be.
Finchie saves New York. Let's go to let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says this. He says, if we don't sign JPJ soon, Tyrone is going to hold Jalen Brunson hostage. Let's go down to Just Learning. Taylor Swift, now a fake Nick fan. How annoying.
She's been a Nick fan for at least 14 years now. I
Really?
did a Google. Yeah, I saw it all over social media. Yeah. Because I was like, what's she doing at the game? But then, things showed, she's been going to games for a long, long time there.
Oh.
Yeah. I was hoping to shit on a celebrity too, Yinzer Joe, or Just Learning, excuse me. And then, God damn it, the fact check got me.
But she certainly jumped on the bandwagon with Kansas City because I didn't know that she was a Chiefs fan prior to meeting Travis Kelce, so we could shit on her there. Let's continue on the board here. Let's go to Mark Malone. My man, Mark Malone, the man, the myth, the mustache in the house, as always. He says, not the Roman. Come on, man. Not
Come on,
the
Roman.
Roman. I like little Roman. I don't know.
like Roman. I was ecstatic when we drafted him.
I don't know if I was ecstatic, but I thought, okay, we have somebody that can play football, and I haven't seen any signs of that yet. So unfortunately, hopefully he gets it together. Let's go to Tortilla. She says this. Tortilla says Taylor Swift fans should fight Nick fans.
There we go.
That could be interesting. That could certainly be interesting. Tyrone says this. Mark would pay Roman over JPJ. Probably. Because he's nuts. But you know what? That's all right. Tortilla. I'm sorry. Corey, don't drink that, says, as someone who grew up in Louisville, it's pretty cool to see a new Louisville team finally make a statement, and that they could be the champions of the UFL tomorrow. Again, that game is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The UFL Championship, Louisville versus DC. And from what I'm understanding, Mike, this is actually at DC. This isn't even, they don't even do the Canton game anymore in the UFL.
Yeah,
apparently.
they go to, they're having it, at DC?
I think.
That's awesome.
Let's continue on. Let's go right here to Tyrone. Tyrone says Bernard will be a wide receiver 3. He's going to cook. I got faith in 17. And you know what? That would be a great sign if that ended up being the case, which, I mean, there's a good chance that will be the case, especially if this Roman Wilson mystery continues on. I mean, I guess it's a very, very, very good chance that Jeremy Bernard can certainly be the number 3 wide receiver. So, again, that's definitely going to be something we'll be following through camp and through preseason. Tyrone says, I think 1 Pittman, 2 Bernard, 3 Roman, 4, 5 Weegan, 6 Ben, Skoranek. Okay, I see what he's, okay. 1 DK, 2 Pittman, 3 Bernard, 4 Roman, 5 Weegan, 6 Ben Skoranek. And that sounds like about right. I don't know how different it could possibly be. That does look like it's going to be the wide receiver room. Tortilla says Roman Wilson, wide receiver number 45. Let's go right here. Let's go to Just Learning. Just Learning says, how about Stephon Diggs? And he kind of falls into a category for me that what you're going to get from him, he's always been a top-end wide receiver. And if you would add him to, let's just say, our wide receiver room particularly, where does he fall? And once he's on a team where he's not one of the top wide receivers, is he going to be a fucking head case? Because some of these guys, Mike, that's always been at the top of the wide receiver list, no matter where they played, through high school, through college, through pros. If, say, he comes in and he's underneath a couple other guys, he's not getting the playing time that he desires. You know, what kind of problems do you have with a guy like this? I don't know. I mean, Mike, what's your take? Stephon Diggs.
Like, he had a very productive year last year.
Absolutely.
I think over 1,000 yards, over like a decent amount of catches, decent amount of touchdowns. But Stephon Diggs has issues, has baggage everywhere he goes, and the Steelers for the past couple of years have been trying to get rid of those type of players, the guys that have the baggage, no matter how good they are. So it would not be a good fit with the Steelers. Like, production-wise, yes.
He just he kind of falls in that category for me, Mike. Do you want? He just falls into a category for me. I don't know. I mean, if he would come and be part of the team and fit in and do well, which he's done. I'm like,
throw him out there. I'd be all for it.
I mean, what kind of money is he like? There's a lot of questions that goes into that. Of course, I mean, you'd like to have another name, but when you bring in a big name into a situation that you've kind of been working to build, you just wonder how he fits in there. And that's kind of the big thing with me, Mike, just the where he fits in. With his current wide receiver room, if in fact we would make that move. But I think from things that I've been seeing, Mike, I think that we are done addressing wide receiver situations as of right now. I guess you can't guarantee anything in the future, but from what I've heard, we're pretty happy with what we have going on in the wide receiver room as far as a team.
Yeah, I'm liking it too, and I'm liking the team overall too. Of like, no drama anywhere except working out contracts. Every team has that. There's no off the field stuff you have to worry about, and no one doing like what Stephon Diggs last year on a jet ski or a boat doing his cocaine flying out all over the place. We don't need any of that on this team right now. It's just, with the new regime, we don't need any headaches.
I agree. Again, Mike, it just falls into the category of somebody like DeAndre Hopkins, for example. He didn't really fit in when he went other places. He was always good. He was always the top dog. Listen, he didn't have an attitude. He was never a problem. But at the end of the day, that somehow doesn't always fit together when you bring in somebody like that. Because when you see him in Baltimore, you seen him move around the league a little bit. He was good. He caught passes. He even caught touchdowns every now and then. But it's just the whole different. It's a whole different element. Does he fit? I don't know. I mean, yes, I would love to take his catches, his receptions, and anything else like this. But at the end of the day, there's just something with him for me that doesn't fit. And again, I mean, I could be very wrong. So let's continue on. Let's go to Robert. Robert says this: next weekend, I pick up my new male English Mastiff puppy named Jennings. After Jennings Dunker, he's going to be a tank. I love it. I love it. You ought to cut his hair into like a mullet. That'd be fucking awesome.
Give him a skullet.
Give him a skullet. But I do want to say what's up to Robert. Always great seeing you on the board, my man. Thanks for stopping in today. Let's go to Tyrone. He says, I lost faith in Roman, to be honest, but hope he does well. But by getting Bernard in the second round, that might be cooked. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, if we are cooked beyond 3, that's not an ideal situation. I mean, Mike, he does hit a good point. Most teams, they are basically, that's generally the way that your wide receiver room is. You got a few good, really good people up top, and then it works its way down. But at the end of the day, this is a very real situation. I mean, one injury, anything. Like, again, our number 1 wide receiver was out for the last 2 games of the year last year. So it's a very real situation that we might have to turn to Roman for, production at some point, providing what goes on with other receivers. So again, I continue to wonder, Mike. I didn't give up on him. I'm just wondering what the hell's going on with the guy. That's my big concern.
Yeah, and it sucks too because like right now, we're only seeing clips from these OTAs and mini camps. We're not seeing the full picture like we will during like training camp to see how well he's doing in these drills, how well he's doing, one-on-one battles with the corners and stuff like that. I think that's when we'll get a much better sense of how far along he's progressed from last year to this year. And then that might start to ease our minds. Or we might see like, oh, God, he hasn't progressed. And now we're like, okay, what are we going to do now? We get at least some depth here because we're hoping Jeremy will be looking good. We know the top 2 receivers should be looking good. But you get, like that said, that peace of mind to where your 4th receiver is good. Yeah, that's being a lot of peace of mind right there, too. Because now we're like, okay, if we're down to Skoranek having to come in and replace Roman Wilson, if something would happen to him during the season, that's okay. Now, if Roman is looking bad and we're going to count on him to have to replace one of the top 3 going into the season, that's when I'd start to worry. I want some more depth if he's not looking good in training camp.
Absolutely. Let's continue on. Somber says it's that time of year when we're looking for things to talk about. Absolutely, or tall about, just depending on if you want to go with the revised version or not. Let's continue on. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says, go Canes. Mike, Steel Loyal is on your team. I know that Vegas is my guy in this particular series. Again, I do have the Vegas Golden Knights. Mike does have the Canes in the series that the Canes took a lead in last night with a 4-2 win over Vegas. Mike, again, game 6 will be Sunday, 8 o'clock. Let's continue right here. Let's go to Just Learning. Just Learning says it wasn't Tomlin. It was Rodgers advocating for Washington. Let's continue on. Robert says Bernard will be our wide receiver 1 by next year. The kid's got it. Boy, that'd be something.
That would be a huge jump.
Absolutely. You know what? I haven't heard anybody say that yet, but that's an interesting thought.
Like we were talking yesterday about how Jeremy was being compared to Chris Godwin. If you just have a Chris Godwin type career, I would be ecstatic for a 2nd round pick to have that type of career.
Yeah, man. I hope he does. But listen, if he pans out to be that good, that's amazing. We will certainly take it.
I'd take that. Yeah.
Bernard, he's Mike being worked in the slot, being worked out wide, being worked doing gadget plays. So I think that we're going to see a good share of Bernard this year. So I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited.
Yeah, that's like I wouldn't be opposed to like if you can get him cheap and if he's still out there and still looking for a job and still can be somewhat productive.
Who's that?
Deebo Samuel.
Oh,
He'd be a guy I look for because Bernard was used a lot like Deebo was in college. So if you can get him in here and not to like say mentoring, but just hey, see what that guy's doing. How about you just follow along and like see how he works, he trains, how he plays, and be like that. I wouldn't mind something like that because Debo could. You're not counting on him to be your number one or number two. You're counting on him to be your 4 or 5, and I think that'd be pretty good role for him.
Let's continue on. Robert says Bernard will be our wide receiver one. Okay, the kid's got it. Tyrone follows it up by saying, Robert, I totally agree. I got high hopes for Bernard. He's this guy. You know what? That guy, I'm sorry. I hope you guys are right. Fuck. I mean, if he could be running for the number 1 spot next season, that means he had a pretty damn good season this year. So again, let's hope that's the case. I mean, that's best case scenario, I think.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. I just want to put my own personal expectations on him because you got 2 really good receivers on the outside. You got 2 good tight ends that are going to command a lot of attention. So I don't know how many touches he's going to get to where you're going to see eye-popping numbers, but I have a feeling they're going to be quality touches. He's going to get you some good yardage out of those plays.
Robert has a very good question. He says, who the hell is this Taylor Swift? He sounds fast. Laughing my ass off.
That's our new corner replacing JPJ.
Isn't that a running back somewhere? Don't somebody in the league have a running back with that name? DeAndre
Swift, yeah.
Let's continue on. Let's go to Just Learning. He says, Mike and Derpy from the 2 Dum Yinzers do New York. Hey, you never know what's going to happen in this competition, guys. It will play out through the rest of the month, Mike. I decided we're going to see from Monday through the end of the month who could pull the most ass. So that's going to be how some of the details go on that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's continue. Tortilla says Diggs would steal JPJ's girl. What else we got here? Somber and a partridge in a pear tree. Corey says this: if he hasn't played any snaps by the trade deadline, we need to cut our losses and trade him for something, anything. And that's the thing. Another thing about Roman, I mean, it's a position on our squad. We need things. Either play him or shit or get off the pot. I mean, that's kind of my opinion. And again, Mike, I'm just we have to fight. We do have to feel this out because again, we don't know if it was a Coach T thing. We don't know. I don't know what the problem is. You hear one thing, they come out and they say, okay, well, this is it. And then they come out and say, well, he don't understand the playbook or he doesn't know how to run routes. So he gets hooked up with the route god and whatever, Dr. Route or whatever his name was. And if the guys still don't got it, it just at some point you got to say, what the fuck is going on? What is going on with Roman Wilson? He can certainly be a big piece of this team if he could be involved. And that seems to be the problem, is getting him involved. It's not catching the ball. It's not even making him mistakes because, again, Mike, in 2 seasons, he makes 1 mistake. The fact that it's because he had very little time, that's not his problem. The kids, I would think he's willing and ready to play. But, again, Mike, just a head scratcher for me personally. Let's continue here. That was Corey, of course. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says, to be fair, Tyrone has been saying Bernard will be wide receiver 1 since JPJ was worth $24 million. I got to be honest. Nobody takes it quite like Ty does here on the show. You know what I mean?
Poor guy.
I know. We got to do something special for Ty. He does. He puts up with a lot, man. And it's always with class, always level-headed Ty. Got to give him his credit, man. Let's go to Tyrone here, right here. Tyrone does say this in return. He says, Bernard is him. I'm very excited. I'm getting his jersey around preseason. And you know what? That's freaking awesome. I know that my next jersey is going to be Darnell Washington. But you know what? If you are getting Jeremy Bernard jersey, that's really awesome too. Let's go down to Tortilla, Tyrone. Let's go here. Mark Malone. Bernard is going to be a major fucking asset for a long time. And the more I'm hearing it, that's fucking fantastic. And the more I see it, when I see it come to fruition, Mike, if that be the case, even if he's not battling out for the number 1 wide receiver spot at the end of the day, I'm fine with that. He's a rookie. But let's just say he does, make some major gain here and comes out and puts up major stats and game-winning situations and does little things that good football players do that, for example, you take somebody like Jonnu Smith. I was really expecting more from this guy. He didn't do little things that you expect a good football player to do through the course of a game. That's what you want when you're looking for a good football player. You want the guy who has great football sense. And listen, I'm not saying Jonnu Smith doesn't have it. He just didn't display it here last year. So if Jeremy comes in, Mike, and he does the little things Like, maybe he'll sit down in a soft spot in his zone on a particular play that opens the game up for us, where he catches this ball, turns around and makes those little things. And again, you never saw anything special from Jono. Again, I'm not putting him down. I understand he had a Pro Bowl season in Miami the year prior, but Mike, if Jeremy does those things and he does get numbers, I'll be, that's the best case scenario. And as they're saying on the board, if he could even be mentioned as a possibility in wide receiver one with the 2 wide receivers we have at the top after this season, you'd have to be ecstatic to hear what you're hearing about your rookie wide receiver.
Yeah, like I'm going to be happy if I see like 450 to 500 yards out of Jeremy. That's just because of how many weapons we have on offense. I think that'd be, I'll take that out of my second round guy, and I have a feeling like those 400 to 500 yards will be very important yardage that he gets, and he'll probably contribute to a couple of touchdowns. So it's just, there's so much talent around him to where he's not being thrust into that receiver 2 spot where he's going to be expected to get 800 to 900 yards. So I think about 500 yards would be acceptable right there. I would be fine with it. I want to see how he plays. Can't just look at the stat sheet. I want to see how he plays. And if the play and the stat sheets correspond to that, to where you can project him to be in a bigger role going forward, that's going to be fucking beautiful for a second round pick. I'll take that. And Jonnu, man, you could, like last year, man, like I've been saying all along, it looked like all of his athletic ability left his body. It stayed in Miami.
I agree.
Like you say, Ryan, he looked like in Space Jams when the monster stole all the players' powers. That's what he looked like. He looked slow. He looked confused.
For the first third of the season, Mike, there was hope where I'd say, you know what, bust it, dude. Take the ball and make a play. Then you get into the second third of the season, and you're looking and you're like, this isn't going to happen. I don't know what the hell happened between when he was in Miami and here, but we're just not going to get that. And then the third of the year, I'm thinking, don't even give him the ball. Why are you giving Jonnu Smith the ball?
Put him on the field.
If it's 3rd and 13 and you throw some kind of bubble pass out to Jonnu Smith, you knew he was going to get tackled a yard up the field, and it was unbearable at a certain point, Mike. And watching through the 3/3, I thought that this could be again, watching his progress. He never progressed. He never moved in the right direction, or even shown signs of doing anything outside of just what a typical old style white tight end would do. Mike, he had no game. He had no athleticism. And again, a very big letdown for me because, he was a big name coming in. People said, you know what? For what Arthur Smith's doing, Jonnu Smith is going to be a big part of it. Okay, good. That's offensive production. This is something I should be looking forward to. And as we were rounding down the season, you're realizing that every play that was thrown to him, Mike, was a wasted play. And we could have did something else or used a different player. It could have been more productive. That just wasn't the case. He was hard to watch. Again, you got to get rid of guys like this. Yeah. But at the end of the day, maybe under the right system, he goes somewhere else and has a good season. Who knows? But I do know that he was a Pro Bowler 2 seasons ago. Last year, he looked like me out there. So what is he? What's going on?
I know, because like last year in Miami, I was watching their film. He'd line up outside as a receiver, and he was showing explosiveness. I'm thinking, okay, we can do a lot of stuff with all these tight ends, and he was just got sold. We got a lemon on that one.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, you're basically right. You go in, you think you get yourself a good deal. Kid's productive. He's athletic. He does this. He's a Pro Bowler. X amount of yards in Miami, and then he comes and just shit out. A lemon, basically buying a fucking lemon.
Yeah, and again, we traded for him. He signed that contract extension with us. Now he's not on the team, and that cap hit is nowhere near to hurt us. So Omar Khan got a gamble by trading Minka and some late round picks, got him and Jalen Ramsey. One of them worked out, one of them didn't, and it did not affect the salary cap in a negative way, did not affect the team's future in a negative way. So it sucked that we didn't get any production out of him, but in the long run, it really didn't hurt the team at all.
Pop quiz for Mike and the board. Pop quiz. Which of these 3, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, will make the Pro Bowl this year? I'm going to give you 3 names of young Steelers. Who is going to be a Pro Bowler this year? Here we go. Zach Frazier, JPJ, Derek Harmon. Board, Mike, 1, 2, 3, none. What is your thoughts on this pop quiz of these 3 superstars, players of the future here in Pittsburgh? 1, 2, 3, none of these young players. How many of them make the Pro Bowl, Mike? JPJ, Zach Frazier, and Derek Harmon. Again, not a lot of time to think about this. Robert is saying 3 on the board, still loyal, saying all 3. Mike, what is your opinion? This year, these young players, is it 1, 2, 3, or none that become Pro Bowl players this year, Mike? On the board, I'm seeing Tyrone saying 2, JPJ and Frazier. Frazier, JPJ, Harmon. Mike, how many of those guys make the Pro Bowl? Again, Pro Bowl, it's tough to make. You got to be really good. These guys seem to be pretty good. 0, 1, 2, 3. Mike, what do you think? Pro Bowl.
I'm going to go with 1. It's a popularity contest, also a reputation contest. I think it's going to be Frazier, but I think Frazier and JPJ should make the team, and I think Harmon's going to have a year to where it will be the following year he would get serious consideration for the Pro Bowl. Because it's hard to make it as a 3-4 D end.
You're right.
You have to have a built-in reputation like Cam does.
I'm seeing right here, Tyrone saying, I love Harmon. I see a great year. I don't know if a Pro Bowl or those, what he's saying. Again, Ty is saying 2, JPJ Frazier. Robert 3, still loyal 3. Mike, you're saying 1 this particular year, but I'm sure it's going to change ultimately moving forward, in your opinion.
And I think all 3 of them, based on their career projections so far, should all be in the Pro Bowl.
I agree.
I think 2 of them should have been in it last year.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing how the Pro Bowl works for media voting,
it's political.
Yep,
I agree. Yeah. Keep politicizing shit, people, and everything will suck eventually. You watch. I promise. I've seen so many things in my lifetime suck because of it being politicized. So I hope that's not the case with our NFL. Let's continue right here. Tyrone says this. He says, Mark Malone is making sense for once. Going back on Mark Malone's last comment, just to remind everybody, he says Bernard is going to be a major fucking asset for a long time. And then Tyrone says this in response, Mark actually talking sense for once. And Mark says, yeah, I'm day drinking again. So there you go, Mike. Mark is day drinking.
You know what, brother? That right there is commitment. I like that. You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That's true. That's commitment. Tyrone says, I just think Bernard in a slot is dangerous with the 2 outsides. He will be odd man out and will be guarded by most teams' 3s. And that could be very, very beneficial for him, Mike, especially if he's able to perform the way that some people saying that he could be, in the running for a 2 or a 3 or 2 or a 1 spot next year. That means he did a lot of work on 3s covering him this year.
Yeah. And the way he moves, the way he runs his routes, I think he can feast in the middle.
I hope you're right. God, I hope you're right. My God, if he could come along and have a fucking a super kind of rookie season where people are just talking about Jeremy Bernard, and on top of the way that things went down in the draft, and everyone still thinks that everyone's all shitty in Pittsburgh because of the Mekhi Lemon, which I'm not. I mean, me personally, I that left me immediately. I didn't care. Yeah. But Mike, just to see if Jeremy Bernard really takes off this year and has a great rookie season, maybe mentioned with Rookie of the Year talks at the end of the year, I think it would be so beneficial, Mike, especially for this team, again, who played with 1 wide receiver for multiple years, would just be a nice showing a change what's going on here in Pittsburgh for the better, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. But like I said, I think his number-wise is going to be numbers for like production and like, oh my God, he's played so well, or oh my God, he's played so poorly. If you look at the numbers, it might not be that eye-popping, but when you watch him play, I think you're people who actually sit down and watch him play are going to be wowed by him. But if you're just a number looker guy, you're like, what's he giving to my team? And I think that's where a lot of Steeler fans and even media people are going to be like, oh God, the Steelers really fucked up by not getting Lemon, and they got this bum right here. What's he doing? Look at the stat comparison. I think you're going to have to really watch Bernard to appreciate his game this year, just because there's so many mouths to feed on this offense.
I think the key is, I mean, you got to be honest, Mike. And again, this is not a typical key, but one of the keys on this situation is Aaron Rodgers has to like you. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers has to like you. And if he likes you, you're going to get opportunity. You're going to get throws. You're going to get targets. You're going to get chances. And if for whatever reason there's anything between Aaron and this player, you have to question, Mike, because it wouldn't be the first time we've seen it.
Yeah.
Again, we're still, as we mentioned earlier and throughout this show, we're still trying to figure it out with some players. But if he likes Bernard, and again, I don't know what it takes for Aaron to like you. I don't know. I don't know the guy personally. Seems to like you. Things seem to go really well for you. If he doesn't, they don't. So again, I don't know what caused this, what continues to cause this with Aaron Rodgers. But Mike, I think this is one of the bigger keys. He has to like you.
Yeah, and I think the key for Aaron to like you as a player is the attention to details. Because, like, remember what Calvin Austin said? Like, oh God, Aaron, like if you're supposed to be there, that's where you're going to be. There's no, I'm a little off here, a little off there. It's like that's where you're going to be. When he's like Jackson Dart's like, hey, you just be in this area, I'll find you. Rodgers wants you to be that attention to detail guy, and from everything I've read about Jeremy and what we've seen from him out of training camp and heard from the vets is like he's dialed in to those little things, asking all the right questions, making sure he's, where he's supposed to be. And I think that will endear him to Aaron Rodgers.
Mike, there's a couple things you just said I love. I love the term attention to detail, and I think that's what you're getting with this new coaching staff. This is one thing that I particularly like about our new coaching staff, Mike, is the attention to detail. As a matter of fact, it's right here. It's the very last note on my paper. Mike McCarthy, attention to detail. And I think that is the big change. That is something that you're going to see that's going to make a change in this team. And again, I'm not bad-mouthing anybody. I'm just saying of the past, I'm just saying that I believe this is going to be a big part of this team moving forward is the coaching staff and the attention to detail and the way they're holding players responsible for a detail and all these things. Mike, I love what's going on right now at the Steelers. Again, I can't wait to see it come to fruition on the field. August, September, whatever you want, I don't care. As long as I'm watching my black and gold on the field, I feel that we're going to be learning a lot about them. And we said this from day one, Mike. It's not the same team at all. At all. It's a whole different system than anything we've seen over the past decade and longer, of course. So, Mike, the attention to detail and the things that we're going to find out and learn about the Steelers squad in August, in the beginning of September, getting in the beginning of the season. I'm sorry. I think that this is where I'm most excited is to learn what it is that we are going to be seeing week to week by the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be different from the past because, again, there was a lot left to be desired, certainly over the past 5, 7, 8 years.
Yep.
I'm going to be very excited to see how this plays out. And the attention to detail, I think, is going to be the difference. I truly, honestly do, Mike, and very, very excited for what's to come.
Me too. And we've been saying it all off season. This is one of the most exciting off seasons we've had in a while.
Absolutely.
The last couple have been exciting too, but I think it's even more exciting because, like you said, the new coaching staff, the new energy that's brought in. I like how you're getting back to the little things, and that happens in any job where you've been there for so long. You kind of let those little things go by because you've been able to get by doing that, and now it's time to refocus and get back to it. And I'm loving what I've been saying all offseason. I'm loving from what I'm hearing. I was not the biggest fan of Mike McCarthy, was not a big fan of this hire, but now that we're seeing him up close and how he runs the team, like this is like almost the perfect hire. It might actually be the perfect hire, the right coach for the right situation for a team that's ready to hit the ground running this season to be a contender.
Right.
I don't think it's out of bounds for me to say that this team could be a contender, not only for
I agree.
I don't know, Super Bowl contender, but definitely AFC North contender, and maybe
what separates this team from New England of last year? Not much. This is what I'm saying. At all. What separates this team? If the defense could play to its potential, what difference is between Denver in this team? Denver of last year, not much. Again, how close can this team be? Denver was a Bo Nix injury away from being in the Super Bowl last year. Mike, I don't think that the Denver Broncos and New England Patriots are head and shoulders above the Pittsburgh Steelers. Especially now because they've improved, they've changed things, they made the necessary changes. So again, I think if you're going to put a team like New England and Denver at this point, their names in that category, you can't scoff at the fact if somebody puts the team named Pittsburgh Steelers in that conversation as well. Yeah. You just can't, because those teams aren't head and shoulder better than the Pittsburgh Steelers. As a matter of fact, we beat New England last year. We beat Denver 2 seasons ago. These aren't teams. If these are going to be the cream of the crop in the AFC for now, we are very much involved. We are very much in the mix of it, and we very much can be in it, Mike, come January. Get that first playoff, that elusive first playoff win in 10 years and possibly more. That's my prediction. I'm saying they at least win 2 games in the playoffs this year. Call me crazy, but I'm fine with that. I would rather be Mike, I'm telling you, this year is going to be different. Let's get back on the board, see what everybody is saying. Mark Malone says, got to keep that medicine in me to stay right. We know, Mark, you got we got it. We know you, brother. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says, I don't even think Arthur Smith knew his own playbook, to be honest. And And there's just some things that you ring up, you just kind of write it up as, man, what the fuck was that? And I think the 2 years of Arthur Smith falls into that category for me because what the fuck was that?
I know, right?
I'm just saying. Let's continue on. Tortilla says Arthur Smith's playbook just says white boy in motion.
Incidentally, that's the title of my sex tape.
That's true. That is true. Let's go to Just Learning. He says, is there going to be penetration? Perhaps.
Not on my end.
Steel Loyal asks just like one page just says Johnu 6,000 times. Too bad Kenny wasn't on a team. Remember, he was losing his playbook every year. We could have got a hold of one of them playbooks
right?
to see what the hell was actually being said in there. Kenny was leaving him in his unlocked car and shit when he. Let's go down here to Tortilla. He says this. He says, you know nothing, Johnu Smith. Just Learning says Arthur Smith in Canada, same set. I don't disagree. They were just mess in their own way. They were just two different kind of messes, but they were both messes. Let's go here to Somber. My man Somber says this. I really like what I'm hearing from Nowakowski. He got invited. Yes, he's going with the Wisconsin boys. We did talk about this earlier in the week. Him and TJ Watt and Nick Herbig and also Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer is involved in that as well. All the Wisconsin boys plus Jack Sawyer going to be getting together and doing work in the offseason. And I mentioned that, Mike, earlier this week, how much I really love this. Even going back to the Dwayne Haskins and, how that unfortunate situation happened. You love to hear these off-season groups of guys getting together. Last year, they were all going to Aaron Rodgers' house and doing this and having workout. I love hearing these stories, Mike, I love hearing them in the offseason because this show's hard. You don't have to do these things. This is something that you totally don't have. You're a millionaire with nice homes and nice families and nice lives. You don't have to go in the heat and do all this shit. The fact that when guys do this, they go above and beyond. I love hearing it. I never not like hearing it, except with the exception, of course, with the tragedy a few years back. But Mike, you got to love this. I agree with you 100%, Somber. Working with these guys, especially.
Oh yeah.
This isn't like you're just working with guys on the team. Like you're working with TJ Watt. You're working with Nick Herbig. I like this a lot, as Somber's saying.
And I like how it's that Wisconsin group's expanding. It was just like TJ Watt and Herbig. Now that Sawyer and all these now Nowakowski, it's growing. And then hopefully, like when TJ leaves and Herbig's still here, they keep that tradition going. And I like to see that. And like you said, like these guys don't have to do that. They can go off, train on their own. They can go and fuck off and not train at all. So I like to see this happening. I like to you see some guys, if they're, when they got their homes in Florida or California or wherever, they find guys throughout the league and they all hook up together and work out together too. I like that. But I really love it, like when the teams, mates are working together. So we're making sure all this position group is working out together so we all know what we're doing.
I mean, we've had very talented players in the past. Jamarcus Russell, the kid from Cleveland. You get some of these guys that won't even watch the fucking tape that they're being. See what I'm saying? Like
Johnny Manziel. Yeah.
Manziel. There's kids there's guys that just think they're so good they don't need this.
Yeah.
You see how that plays out. Jamarcus Russell, Johnny Manziel, and then these other guys, Mike. They, you acknowledge I'm human. I'm not perfect. I need work, no matter who I am. And when I see these people get together in the off season again, it just makes you think, this is good. This is a good thing. Because again, not everybody does that, and again, there's guys, Mike, they won't even play the tape that's given to them for you to watch. How much more of a passive situation are you being lazy about with this? And again, listen, I'm not the, whatever, but these guys are getting paid a lot of money. You can't watch a tape. I mean, let alone get out and do all the extra that these guys are doing. So again, this is always good news, music to my ears when I hear situations like this with especially our Pittsburgh Steelers in the offseason.
I'm loving it.
I am too. Back to the board, Tyrone says, that's awesome. Glad we got a true fullback, and I am too. I didn't hate Meatwad. He grew on me. He grew on me.
He really did.
Like salmonella. But you know what? At the end of the day, we are getting something, I think, to fill that void, Mike, that spot, and the little things. Maybe he might not be doing the tush push or whatever Connor was doing. But at the end of the day, I think you're going to see a lot of little things being done by Nowakowski that are going to make us happy to have that position filled. And again, who knows? Maybe he will be running the tush push in the future. But I like it as well.
Yeah, I hope we keep the tush push under McCarthy. I think it worked well for us last year.
Let's see. Steel Loyal saying all three of those guys are going to be Pro Bowlers. Robert saying all three. JPJ and Frazier. Tyrone is saying two of them. Art Smith was the lemon, not John. Yeah, yeah. But even his skills didn't really show me much. I mean, he wasn't elusive. He wasn't athletic, as we were told. So again, I mean, he wasn't given the best opportunities. But there were guys, even in this offense, that did make the best of it and made big plays. He didn't make big plays. That was the problem with Jonnu. Again, I'm not taking anything off of Smith to put it on Jonnu. I just think that the Smith connection just was not a good thing for us. I do want to skip forward for 1 second. I do want to say welcome and thank you to Georgianne on the terrible board for the super chat. Always great seeing Georgianne on the board, and thank you so much. This will certainly get back into the show, and
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank
Always
you.
great to see Georgianne. I hope Georgianne's doing well. I know it's the off season. There's a lot of hit or miss. Sometimes you don't see people for a while, but I know Georgianne was here with us very strong through the season. So thank you so much, Georgianne. Always great seeing you here on the show. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
But the Smith and Smith connection, not a big fan. I think you could blame it one way or the other. I'm not taking anything away from one to blame it on the other. I think that they were both. It just didn't work here. Tyrone, he says, I love Harmon. I see a great year. I don't know if a Pro Bowler, but that's fair. That's fair. It's tough. It's tough to be a Pro Bowler on the defensive line. There's a lot of good talent out there.
Yeah.
You have to outplay people like Myles Garrett and guys like this to get that position. So, Mike, it's going to be difficult for him.
Yeah.
But in the future, I wouldn't rule it out.
Oh yeah, like people are going to look at his sack numbers, and if they're not eye-popping, like, oh, he sucks.
Yeah.
And while he, he's eating up, blockers so the backers can do stuff, or he's stuffing guys at the line.
Right. And I do want to say welcome back to Georgianne as well. I hope everything is going well for you, ma'am. And again, we are very excited, as you are, I'm sure, to get ready to get this season going. But again, thank you, Georgianne. Great seeing you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Let me go on down here to Robert. Robert says Steelers go 12-5 and have a top 3 defense. You know what? Steelers go 12-5 and have a top 3 defense. I'm feeling really good come January. I'm feeling really good. And I feel good now. So if it plays out, I think we're all going to be feeling pretty damn good come 2027. To kick off the year, of course. Let's go to Tyrone. I see year 3 Harmon could get the okay. You know what? That works for me. And again, maybe you're right, Ty. Maybe it is still a little too early for him, and there's a lot of competition. You got to beat out a lot of very good players on that defensive line for show.
Mm-hmm.
Show. Just Learning says this, that backup from quarterback from Baltimore made the. That's what let's see. Those were Mike. What he's talking about here pisses me off, and you know that because Tyler Huntley was not a Pro Bowler.
No.
Shedeur Sanders was not a Pro Bowler. No. So this is something. It really skews things, Mike, and it really. Yeah, please go ahead.
Like you have to those guys. There's got to be asterisks next to you're the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th alternate to make it, because guys are hurt. Guys are just like no, I don't want to go, or hey, they're actually playing in the fucking Super Bowl right now. Like once you get down to that 5th, 6th, 4th, 5th, 6th alternate, you got to start putting like alternate, because get the fuck out of here. Because you notice like the receivers, the linemen, the DBs, very rarely do those guys go, nah, I'm not going to go to the Super or Pro Bowl. It's the QBs are like, nah, I don't want to be bothered and go with it. Like the skill position guys are like, hell yeah, I'm going to go and hang out with the dudes, have a good time.
I agree, Mike. I agree, and we'll continue to see it play out. And I think I think he's right. I think eventually Harmon does get in there. And again, all these guys very early in their career, so give it time. It'll all formulate. There's a lot of very talented people in this league that they got to somehow figure it out. But I hate, and I hate even using the word hate sometimes, but I hate the way that these people were making the Pro Bowl, because again, Mike, this could we mentioned this before in the past. When you're trying to get a job somewhere, say a couple years down the line, Tyler Huntley's sitting down with his agent and another team, and the agent says these words, and my client Tyler, he was a Pro Bowler. So you know what they might say? You know what, he was a Pro Bowler. Let's throw some more money on this deal, make it happen. He wasn't a Pro Bowler. He was less than average. He made it because other people didn't want to go. So again, this system that they have, I'm all about putting replacement players in there. but they've got to kind of be deserving of it. At the end of the day, Tyler Huntley was not a Pro Bowl player that season, and neither was Shedeur Sanders. So at the end of the day, that's kind of a screwed up thing, Mike. And again, it's very inaccurate. There's other people that certainly could have been in there prior to either of those particular players.
Exactly. And it's just funny you get down to that level of quarterback play to be a Pro Bowler. It's like, come on.
I mean, that's like if that's not the prime example of a participation trophy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like at that point,
James Harris would eat these guys alive.
Like at that point, just be like, okay, we're only sending we're only going to send 2 quarterbacks to the Pro Bowl. We're really not playing a game here. We're playing some flag football. I mean, we can let one of these linemen throw the ball around and have some fun.
James Harrison would eat these guys alive with their participation trophies. Let's continue on right here. Go to Somber. He says JPJ and Frazier. You know what? Both of them, I sure as hell hope that'd be great if they do both make it this year. And again, it's not the fact of playing; it's the credit you get, it's the accolade, it's the resume. You know, they don't play a game anymore in the Pro Bowl. You go and play tug of war and slap ass or whatever it is they do down there for a couple days over the weekend, Mike. But it's about the resume. This is on my resume. I was a Pro Bowl. I was an All-Star this year. So again, it's valuable. It does hold value in a way. John Anthony says this. I do want to say, what's up, my man? Yeah, he was early on today. I do want to say, great seeing you back on the board. He says he's a backup, made it as an extra anyway, though. Who else? What else we got going on here? Tyrone says this. DK 1,120 yards, 7 touchdowns. Pittman 900 yards, 8 touchdowns. Bernard 780 and 6. My guess, stay wise. You know what? If that's how it's looking like, we're going to be happy.
Yeah, I'll take that all day, every day.
Because
that's a lot. That's
3 wide receivers. You're nearing 3,000 yards.
Yeah, I was doing the math in my head. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of yards, and that's not even counting in your 2 tight ends and your 2 running backs.
That's what I'm saying.
And people like Roman and Sko and maybe even Caleb Johnson and Noah Kowski.
Mike, where do you safely predict Darnell Washington finishes with yards?
My God, 600.
Ooh, I love it. I love the sound of that.
Like 5 to 6 in that range, and because there's so many guys to throw the ball to, you can go in week to week, and the 1 week it might be a DK Metcalf game, another week a Pittman game, a Freiermuth game, a Washington game. Yeah, a game where the running backs carry us.
Conversation. I mean, when was the last time we could even have this conversation and say the words that you just said?
Ben Bell, AB, and all those guys. That was it in the Killer B era when the ball was getting spread around. Like now, it's tough to predict where these guys are going to be, because once you start doing it, I can see them having this. Then you're like, wait a sec. You got to factor in DK. You got to factor in Pittman. It's going to be a fun problem to have. So that
I like fun
if you want the ball, you're going to have to make Aaron want to throw you the ball by getting open, by beating your man, by making the coaches be like, oh, we got to definitely game plan him more. This is going to be the week for him to feast. And, and shit like that. So, competition is going to be off the charts for this team, and that should bring out the best out of everyone, you would think. They're going to want to compete and want the ball. And, they're all going to be in Aaron's ear. Hey, I'm open. And that's might be a healthy problem to have, like these guys all wanting the ball, but also, knowing like, hey, 1 week it might be me, the next week it's not. But a lot of these guys have shown throughout their career they're okay being selfless, and doing what's best for the team. Pittman's not afraid to go out there and block. DK's not afraid to go out there and block. DK's not afraid to run guys down after a turnover. He's not afraid to go out there and play special teams. So I think he'd be okay. Like, hey, I got to take a back seat this week so we can win and someone else can thrive. And I'll just, whenever I get my chance, I'm going to make sure I capitalize on it. Like, this is a good problem to have. And I think this is a great group of guys on offense to have, because they all want each other to do well. Even going into the running backs, Dwaddle is like saying, hey, I hope me and Jalen Warner are like the best duo in the league.
Right.
Like, they want each other to do well. This is a very good problem to have. And these guys are embracing the roles of like, hey, a lot of us are great players, need the ball, but we know if everyone else is doing well, I'm going to do well because the team's going to do well.
And I love, I mean, these are the things that you want to hear from your team every year. And there are things that happen from time to time. And then when they go away, you're like, why isn't it like that anymore? Remember when everybody was unselfish? Remember when everybody else wanted everybody to do good? I don't understand how coaches and teams just don't want to try to shoot for that kind of mindset more often, because whenever teams play together, you get 53 guys on the same page. You tend to play good football. So
I was going to say, it reminds me of story like Lynn Swan, like that first Super Bowl. He was kind of upset that he didn't have any catchers or anything like that. And they're like, Lynn, we won the Super Bowl. It's like, yeah, but I still should be able to catch the ball. But it was like a two-way conversation, might have been between him and TB. But they both were like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm happy we won. And Bradshaw was like, hey, man, I'm happy we won, but next time I'm going to get you the ball more. And look what happened when they got there. They got the ball more, and it became a good competition between Swan and Stallworth of wanting to be better than the other, so Terry would throw to him, and it helped the team. You can be a little selfish, but also recognize I can be a little selfless too to make myself better and the team better. Right now, that's the way this team's shaping up to be. They're all want to be selfless, but they also want to be selfish too, because they know a little bit of both is going to help this team go a long, long way.
Mike, let's get back on the board, and we're going to get into some new topics here shortly. I do want to say welcome to everybody coming in. What's up to Dude? Dude just walked in. Thank you for being here, my friend. Always great seeing you on the terrible board. A lot of good comments here, Mike. Let's don't miss out on any of them. Let's go down. Sounds to me that John Anthony says, this sounds to me they're not confident in Jackson, so they'll be hedging their bets. Steelers own them all. So all time, you're right, and I'm not. I've never been confident. Listen, Jackson, when he was in Louisville, is when I was scared most of Lamar Jackson, because I said if he becomes a Raven, he will be a thorn in our side for years. Oh, was I wrong? We are the only team, for whatever reason, continues to shut him down and holds him from success, like consistently, as again the Steelers won 10 of their last 12. Yeah. Let's take a minute to let that sink in, guys. Steeler Nation, they've beat the Ravens 10 of the last 12 times they play them. In any other sport, any other situation, any other teams, any other conversation, that is called domination.
Yeah.
But yet these idiots come out every year and tell us how the Ravens are going to win this division. And you put them in the top 5 in the power poll, Mike, suggesting that this could be a team that win the championship.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Mike, 10 of the last 12, that's the last 6 years. We've had total domination over our rival. And again, we didn't blow them out. But at the end of the day, if they beat us 10 of the last 12 games, even by close margins, believe me, they would be talking about domination and how we were dominated. Oh, yeah. So at the end of the day, Mike, the Ravens, I'm never scared of him. I'm not scared of them, and I haven't been for years.
No.
I'm happy and I'm excited to play the Ravens, because I'm like, you know what, we could probably get ourselves a win this week, and we've been doing it way more often than not.
Yeah. I'm like just surprised more teams don't copy what the Steelers do against Lamar and the Ravens. The Steelers have the blueprint in the foundation to show you how to beat him. Oh, I would just copy it. It's just comical, man. Like, because you watch him every other week, he's lighting the league up, completing 70% of his passes, not turning the ball over, making smart plays. Then he plays the Steelers, turning the ball over, can't complete a pass, gets a little flustered in the pocket. I don't know if it's a psychological thing where he sees the Steelers like, fuck, they got my number.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. It's funny. Certain players against certain teams for some own reason.
And also, as we mention all the time, like when you play the same team twice a year, every single year, you know them better than anybody. And Grant, we know a lot about Cleveland. We know a lot about Cincinnati. But at the end of the day, who do we know more about in the league than anybody? It's the Baltimore Ravens. And there's nobody that we play better than them. And you know what? I say that every year, and I mean that every year. And I do want to take a moment to time out and jump down to the bottom here real quick to say thank you, Tortilla, for the super chat as well. Let's jump into what Tortilla says here real quick. He says, I don't think they really think the Ravens will be good. They just want dumb people to place losing bets, which could very well be it, Tortilla. But thank you so much on the super chat as well for 5 today, sir. We appreciate you. You know that, brother.
Thank you.
Again, you are the man. Thank you so much, Tortilla. We appreciate you, sir. And also, while that was all going on, there was like 15 things going on. Mike's little guy did pop in and say hi as well. It's Friday, everybody. Let's jump down to Somber right here. Somber says this, Mike. The Pro Bowl is so bad they have to bring up the 12th stands-ins. Nobody wants to go. And here's another one, Mike. I think it might have been Tyler Huntley's year, and I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong if I'm a year off, but I think I'm right. That was the year that Kenny did lead the Steelers to the division and to the playoffs that year, and Tyler Huntley ended up getting the call.
Yeah.
So again, this is how screwed up it is. There was a guy that possibly could have earned this backup, and it wasn't Tyler Huntley who finished. So what I'm saying, it's such a screwed up situation. Again, I believe politics and everything else that doesn't matter. I'll go into it, but unfortunately, it'll continue to happen. I wonder who it'll be next. Who will be the next Pro Bowler that we're bitching about because they didn't deserve it?
Hopefully, one of our guys. God damn it!
And the
then they deserve it. They corrected an injustice.
If it was about playing in the Pro Bowl again, that's a totally different story. Again, this is something that's going on your resume.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to claim? Oh, I was a Pro Bowler 3 years ago, but you weren't. You stunk. You made it because nobody else wanted to go. That should be a big asterisk right next to their name because, again, it's not about playing the Pro Bowl anymore. It's not. Again, it's tug of war. But, again, it's mostly affects people's resume and their accomplishments. And in my opinion, again, that's not quite an accomplishment, but call me crazy if you will. And, again, thank you, Tortilla. Thank you, Georgianne. Greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you. Let's continue down the board here. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says, yeah, I hope A-Rod, Bernard getting good work and chemistry. Training camp is huge for him, and I couldn't agree more. I like Aaron made it in early this year. I like the fact that everything is positive. I like the fact that everybody's getting their work in with one another. And, Mike, the attention to detail that the McCarthy coaching staff is very seemingly bringing to the table. You got to, again, like this. You have to like what you're seeing. Certainly better than what you're seeing in Baltimore. Certainly better than what you're seeing in Cleveland. What a disaster. I think Sosh put something in Discord yesterday where Shedeur Sanders throwing into somebody's arm. And
yes, I saw that on Twitter, and I'm like, is this real life?
That's what I'm saying. And you know what, Mike, I don't want to I have to get to Sosh. He's the next one on the list. As a matter of fact, I didn't even see that, but it just worked out that way. Sosh, always great seeing you. He says, while taking a dump and listening to you guys, I had a very random thought. Who the frick are the Cardinals paying to use their cap? The entire team is asked.
$42 million in dead cap space to Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And they still have like $35 million in cap space this year.
It's incredible with some of these teams like Arizona. I mean, with the exception of 1 year, this team is never, ever in it.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are never in it. Who are they paying year after year after year for the past 50, 60 years of Super Bowl years? The Cardinals done nothing with the exception of one season. So, I mean, where's all this money go? I would love to be a Cardinal. You're not expected to do anything, and they pay you a shitload of money.
Their top two paid players are Budda Baker and Josh Sweat. Then after that, you got Marvin Harrison, who was drafted 3 years ago at $96 million, and then their fourth highest paid player is their first round draft pick this year. Like, they are paying a bunch of young guys and old vets that no one want. It is comical.
And I'm going to be honest.
$100 million in cap space next year. If they had competent leadership, they could actually build a good team.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. It's been since we started doing the show because just hobby time. It has been about 5 years since I've really played Madden. And when I was really playing Madden before we got back, starting the show up on a base where we're really, putting a lot of hours in, Budda Baker was one of my players on the Cardinals at that time. So again, this is where the money is going for Arizona. They are the Cardinals. Again, Mike, 60 years of Super Bowls. They've literally only put together one season that was worth anything. And luckily the Steelers were there to stop them, right?
Hey, it's still more impressive than Cleveland.
Absolutely. And Cleveland had two different chances. They had an expansion team and a team that come off of had a decent history. So
yeah.
Let's go right here to Tyrone says, Sosh. I do want to say what's up to my man Sosh. Always great seeing you.
Always great seeing Sosh.
Absolutely. All the way from Switzerland, my man. Great seeing you as always. So I hope things are going well for you. Getting ready to head into the weekend. John Anthony says, exactly. There's a bunch of bums in the NFL now, and they're afraid of breaking the nail. Let's continue to go down to Tyrone. Tyrone says this. He says, excited for new coaches, scheme, and hey, we have more than one wide receiver. Woohoo, Mike, am I drawing? Tyrone says, I don't know, Tyrone. Are you drawing?
My man can't have a simple, slip up in the words before everyone jumps on him.
He's like the president. The guy, anytime he opens his mouth, everybody has something to say about it.
He can everything, man.
Listen, I tell you what, if Tyrone runs for president, I'm going to vote for him.
What? Well, one misspelling, using, the abbreviation and text speak to, so that it's not a wall of text and everyone jumps on him. I got your back.
Like this was something that was brought up. I did have it in my notes here. If I can find it. Yeah, right here. Okay. This was, I don't remember where it was, Mike. We have new coaching. We have more offensive depth. We have versatility on defense. Other than that, the schedule, it could be a lot more difficult, Mike. Again, some people don't like the schedule, but you get both South divisions. We certainly have things that are moving in the right direction for our team, and I'm very excited. And I think that most of Steeler Nation is as well. Everybody's pumped up and ready to head into this season as the Steelers look to improve. Mike, my question is this. We're having the total switch around on offense, on the offensive line, putting Fatanu, putting McCormick on the left-hand side, making those adjustments. Is this going to be a problem? Again, at the end of the day, they are human beings. And again, some guys are going back to original positions, but again, they are human beings. How much, if any, do you think that's going to be an issue, Mike, for the offensive line switching around like that, basically to make it work, to put people to be in the most ideal situations? Do you think it's is it going to make the line stronger? Is it going to give us issues along the way? Maybe some communication issues? How do you think that the offensive line switch around is ultimately going to play out? Is it going to yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're gonna. I think it's gonna pay dividends in the long run. I think it might be a little shaky early in camp. Maybe that first preseason game when they're getting out there in live action. But you remember Fatanu played left in college. Same thing with McCormick. They play there. They have a history there. They both did really well on the right sides in the NFL. I think maybe just a little bit of growing pains in that first game, just because live action, the first time playing on that side at the NFL. But I think by the time regular season's ready to rock and roll, those guys are going to be flying high and smooth sailing on the left side. It's just going to be like, who's going to be on the right side? Yeah. And, I think that's where the issue is going to be. And I think this move right here solidifies the left side. And I like that they got it done early. And then, like, the first OTA, was like, no, you're there. You're staying there all off season, all the way up through training camp into the regular season. So that's why I think maybe just in that first game, just a little bit of, it's your first time playing on that side at the NFL level. You might see a little shaky the first couple series, but after that, I have utmost confidence in those two. Now, if it was Brojo switching sides again, that's a different conversation. But these two, I haven't seen anything to make me really question their athletic ability and their focus to be on the left side and play on the left side.
I'm going to go down to this next comment. I like it a lot. Robert says this feels kind of like when Cowher replaced Knoll to me, and I couldn't agree 100%. I couldn't agree more. Listen, I've said this 100 times. There was a stale Steeler team at the end of the Knoll era that when Cowher came in and was able to take advantage of that and really build up, I am feeling the same exact vibes, Mike, because it got stale. It was a long Tomlin era. It was, successful, and then it kind of wore off the end, got stale. And then you got a Pittsburgh guy, a homeboy, a homebody, if you will, Mike, right here, who wants nothing more to be successful with this football team. Robert, I couldn't agree with you more. I've said this a million times since the hiring. This feels a lot like 1992 to me all over again. And you know what? That was a nice start. A restart, a re-jump for the Steelers. Hopefully we can get the same success, moving in the right direction, continuing to move along. Again, as you remember the Cowher years to start off, the first 4 years, Mike, it was an improvement every year. Win division. The next year they won a playoff game. The next year they won. They went to the AFC Championship game, lost to the Chargers. The next year they went to the Super Bowl. So every year was better. You know what? If we could continually move in the right direction, I'm all aboard. And as I was saying, to agree with Robert, I couldn't agree with you more. There are so many similarities between that particular year, 1992, and 2026 for the Steelers. And I'm here for it, baby. I am here for it, because at the end of the day, that means our football team is going to be winning football games, getting it done in January. and it's stuff that we all have been missing for quite some time.
Oh yeah, and I have the same feeling as well. I didn't like the move of like that was our coach. Why'd you get rid of him? Who's this guy? Then as the whole process,
you get rid of a Super Bowl winning champion like Chuck Noll, 4-time Super Bowl. You can't get rid of him and bring in a Bill Cowher. What is a Bill Cowher?
Well, yeah,
you know?
and that's how I was like going. When Cowher stepping down, who the hell's a Mike Tomlin?
I agree.
Like, okay, so it was the same thing over again, and I was wrong every single time. I hope I'm wrong again for my initial reaction of like, these are shitty hires.
Tortilla drawing pictures of you and JPJ. Tyrone says Mike 100 we all didn't like, but after I saw him cry, I opened up to it, and he hasn't disappointed me yet. I'm just excited for the new man. Love Tomlin, but I've been asking this exactly. It's since we lost to the Browns in 2020. You knew that it was something was not coming together once things started to look like they did in 2020. Of course, it was a weird year for everybody, but you really felt that this team just wasn't getting it together. It was a bunch of the same over and over and over when you knew that changes need to be made. So again, I'm aboard. I'm not gonna badmouth any of the three big names, but I'm gonna say I'm very excited about moving forward with what we have. And as Mike said, this wasn't my ideal pick. We all on here on the show wanted younger, newer, innovative coach. That was the conversation on the show for quite some time. We were wrong. And again, at the end of the day, Mike, I'm always glad to admit I'm wrong if I feel that something is it for the betterment of the squad. And I was wrong, and I'm happy. And here we go. Let's see what we can do, Mike. Again, the attention to detail in what this coaching staff has been able to do. A few other notes I do have here, Mike. Despite the Steelers taxing spring, Mike McCarthy will be more than likely not be beating the hell out of his players once it comes time for camp. Yes, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be walkthroughs. But at the end of the day, I think what you've seen in May and in June, I think he wanted to work these guys. I think he wanted to push them out. We'll see what these guys got. Let's see how serious they are about this their career in this football team and winning. And you know what? I think a lot of questions got answered by the way things were. And you know what? A lot of people were making the adjustments, and they're liking the Patrick Graham on defense. They are liking the Angeliquio on offense, and then of course Mike McCarthy. So again, people always say, "Well, how's things going to be when there's change?" I think the guys really adapted well. I think they're buying into it, Mike. And again, I think this equals wins come football season.
Yeah, and Cowher did the same thing when he took over. Tomlin did the same thing when he took over. You come in, you're like, hey, we're gonna have intense practices and all that, and then you taper it off to how everything else is, a typical run practice in preseason and shit like that. You come in, set the tone, everyone adopts to the tone, or if they don't adopt to the tone, guess what? They're going to be out of here.
Yep.
And everyone has jumped on board. You're the new guy coming in. You have a lot of vets here, but you also have a lot of rookies here. You got to clean slate for everyone, and that means the way the practices are ran, and that's how it's going to go. And then over time, things will be tweaking and changing. But right now, you got to come in a little hot and heavy to set the tone, because these guys are the best of the best, and they're going to try and get away with stuff if they can. And as a new guy, you can't let that happen. And everyone has fallen in line from the vets on down. And that was like the big worry. It's the big worry. In any type of coaching change in any sport, will the vets buy in? Because if they don't, you're screwed. But they all bought in from day one.
I agree. And as we always say, it's easy to criticize, but at the end of the day, everybody's human. And these are not unusual human problems, Mike. I think people at your job that's been there a lot longer than everybody else sometimes tends to think that they have, I don't have to work as hard. So every situation is different, Mike. It's again, you're not only a coach or a psychologist. You're not only a coach and psychologist. You're a this is that and this, and it's working for us. So again, Mike, let's hope that it takes the same path that an early Bill Cowher run did take, because again, that led to many, many, many years of winning football, and that's what we love here. Let's get back on the board. Let's go right here. Tyrone. Tyrone is saying dreaming. Thanks, Tortilla. Tortilla says Roman should cry. Then Tyrone will like him again. Tyrone says, I don't know about that one. Tortilla says, oh my God, crying right now, begging JPJ to take $21 million a year. Let's go down here to Robert. Robert says, this Sunday I complete my 125 straight days of no beer or alcohol, bread, crackers, chips, sugar, etc. Down 55 pounds. The beer fridge is stocked, and I will have a few cold ones on Monday. Congratulations, dude. That's come on, 55 pounds. Great job, dude. That's fucking awesome. Great job, man. Congrats. Tortilla says, hell yeah, Rob, as well. Also, Tyrone. Tyrone says this, bro. Tortilla, speaking of this guy, Kirby, that be on with Big G and Tate, said 2024. I laughed so hard, that RB burner. Congrats, Robert. Of course, Tyrone is congratulating Robert as well. All excited about that. Great news to hear, man. Again, Georgiana, it was great seeing you as well, and thank you so much. That was quite generous. Thank you.
Yes.
Robert says Smith got on the ground faster than anyone else on the team after he caught a ball. That's what I'm saying. It's not what I expected when I heard we were getting Jonnu Smith at tight end. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was like having I don't know, Matt Spaeth. You know. Let's continue on. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Tortilla says Matt Stafford has only been a Pro Bowler like 3 times. Pro Bowl. That's what I'm saying. Ben Roethlisberger only was a Pro Bowler X amount of years when he probably should have been a Pro Bowler so many more. And yet you got Tyler Huntley and Shedeur Sanders as Pro Bowlers. Again, stupid. Met Gala for mid football players. That's about it, Tortilla. Tortilla follows it up by saying Roman might make the Pro Bowl before JPJ. See, this is what I'm saying. There's guys that deserve to be there, like a guy that hasn't let up a touchdown in 3 years. Send Shedeur, why not? That just kind of shows you where we're at with that. Let's go to Tortilla and says he says that, and that's just shitting on the Pro Bowl, not JPJ for sure. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Tortilla follows it up by saying this. He says, I've heard the Pro Bowl is just going to be survival mode in New York. You have to wear a Wemby jersey, and you have to last 2 hours in Times Square. Tyrone says, Darnell, 540 yards, 3 touchdowns. You know what? That's great. I would love to see a few more touchdowns. Because, Mike, I want him to be so much more involved in the goal line offense, inside the 20. Anything in the red zone, I don't think Darnell Washington should come off the field. I would love to see him actually have more touchdowns, but Robert's saying 400 for Washington. Dude, always great seeing dude on the board. What's up, brother? Welcome back to the show. As always, my man, hope things are going good for you. JD in the hazy, baby. Let's go right here. And I do want to say a big thank you, of course, to Tortilla, my man. Always appreciated, sir. Thank you so much, Tortilla. Tyrone says Sloth Boy will save them. Ty says this, I'll be president so I can pay JPJ. There you go. You certainly can. Tyrone follows up by saying, Mike, as I got yours as well, brother, 100 for show. Tortilla says this, Tyrone's slogan is vote for the GOAT. Vote for the GOAT. I like it. I do want to say what's up to John Udon. Welcome to the show. Mike, Big Sexy. Is this a friend, perhaps?
Friend's doing a lot of work in that sentence. Good to see you, John, if you're still here.
Big Sexy in the house. Great to have you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the terrible board. Tyrone says Tortilla knows best. That's right. Also, John also sends another message here, Mike. He says Brady was the best. Chang my mind.
See, good. I can make fun of his spelling mistake tomorrow.
So that was supposed to be change my mind. I didn't know if this was an inside.
I don't know. Knowing John, it could be Chang.
Okay. I do want to go back. I missed one here. Tortilla says that's a good slogan too. Tortilla knows best. But welcome, John. Glad to have you here. John Anthony says this. Still wish we'd kept Gainwell. I wonder what the deal with that was. There's got to be something more to it than we ever heard about. The guy was a killer out of the backfield, always a receiving. I agree. I think they were just, I don't know, what is it like? They were just willing to give him a couple more dollars in Tampa Bay, perhaps. He wanted to go to Tampa. I remember that at one point he was interested in going to Tampa.
It was the price tag, and I think, I don't think we had McCarthy at that point, and I think it was like they wanted the more physical style runner. Gainwell fit in well with what we wanted to do last year, but I think Tortilla brings it up too. Like Jalen Warren can be that guy. That's kind of what his role was when him and Najee were here. So you have his replacement already under contract, and then you bring in Rico to be more or less the lead back, and then Jalen to be the receiving back, and also another good power back.
Mike, I do want to make the point. I do want to mention this. We are at the 2 hour mark, so this is the part where I always say we're rounding third. I'm going to give you your hit, Mike. Today's trivia question, which we're not at yet, is going to be Steelers coaches. Steelers coaches is the category today. Just let that bounce around upstairs as we do continue to get through the show. Go through the show here. Let's get back on the board. Tortilla says this. Dowdle has rushed for over 1,000 yards back-to-back seasons, and Warren can fill in and do whatever Gainwell was doing. His pass protection alone will make us better on third down. And you know what? I love Gainwell. The guy was so productive. The guy was the MVP of this team. As a matter of fact, the first MVP in a long time that didn't come back the next year on the Pittsburgh Steelers. But you know what? If what I'm hearing from Dowdle is true, I'm going to be okay with the switch. Again, I didn't hate Najee. You know me. I like Najee at the end of the day. But again, Mike, if Dowdle can do what I'm being told he can do, and again, if this turns into another Jonnu Smith, I'll lose my effing mind. But at the end of the day, if he could do what he's said to be able to do and the numbers he was putting up with Warren beside him, Mike sharing the time, I think they could both be very productive. And I hope that this could end up being just exactly what we wanted. Basically, Mike, a smooth transition from Kenneth Gainwell to Dowdle, I think could be very satisfying for us. And we're all kind of hoping that that's what it's going to be. So I agree with you, Tortilla. It just makes you wonder. But you know what? Sometimes you can't keep somebody from moving, unfortunately. Corey said, anybody else going to see Disclosure Day tonight? I am not. As a matter of fact, I heard it's not scrounging up the interest. As a matter of fact, I'm interested, but it's not scrounging up the interest nationwide that they thought that it was going to. So I'm not sure what to make of that, but very interested in seeing it eventually. I'm not going to see it tonight, though. Let's go to Robert. Robert says at least Spaeth could block. John Anthony compared Rodgers to a top NFL quarterbacks last year, and it shocks idiots on ESPN. They were on the same ones talking down on Rodgers in before the season. I agree. Aaron had a damn good season last year for what he was working with. A Jonnu Smith offense, half an offensive line, one wide receiver, a stale Tomlin. I thought Aaron Rodgers had a damn good year. Give him an improved situation. Hopefully we get improved results. Tyrone says facts. A-Rod was a top 15 quarterback last year. Played with okay, we're pretty much matching notes.
Yeah.
Played with OC, coach, played scared, and his wide receiver was Walmart workers too. That's what I'm saying, bro. Corey says this. He says, well, I'm doing a movie review for you guys, and I'll have it posted Sunday. Hopefully it's going to be a bonus. I can't wait. I certainly keep my eyes peeled, guys, and I do recommend everybody keep your eye on Corey over Don't Drink That here on YouTube. Lots of cool stuff and content that he does have over there. Let's go Mark Malone. I think Dowdle is going to kick ass and take names. And from what I'm hearing, I'm that's what I'm hearing and seeing. So if that plays out, I think we'll all be smiling on Sunday afternoons. A couple of things I do want to get into, Mike, before we do start wrapping things up here. Where do I want to go? Two standouts, Mike, at the OTAs this year. Two standouts. Jeremy Bernard, Dalen Everett. Mike, not just the comment wasn't two standout rookies. These were two standouts.
Yeah.
At OTAs in camp this year. You got to be encouraged by that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And those are good signs that, young guys are picking it up right away. Usually, you hear stories like, oh, they're a little slow picking it up. We're hopefully by training camp, they'll have it all figured out. These guys between OTAs and minicamp have been the talk of the town. Especially Dalen Everett.
I agree.
He's been the one, like, everyone's, oh my God, he's been so good. Jeremy, at the start, everyone was like, oh my God, this rookie is like acting like a veteran. And you haven't heard anything other than that through the whole process. And the clips that come out, I haven't seen any of Dalen, but there's been a lot or a decent amount of Jeremy, and Jeremy looks good in his drills. So I'm looking forward to those two. Definitely once we get into the real training camp battles in the preseason games. But if you hit on a second round pick and a third round pick, and they both can contribute in year one, that's already a hell of a fucking draft.
Absolutely.
and you're getting key playing time and contribution from those guys. And you're doing something right, and your team's going to be playing really well. Because especially if Everett gets out there and gets a decent amount of playing time, he's going to have to beat out some established veterans who have NFL pedigree. and that are known quantities in the league. So if he can do that, that defense is going to be nasty, and that kid's going to be nasty. I'm loving it.
A couple things here, Mike. We did talk about some notes, some things that Vince Williams, of course, the former Steeler, some comments he made yesterday. Mike, there was one that got by me.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to read this one here, and I want to see your thoughts and everybody on the board as well. Mike, this is something Vince Williams said yesterday. He vouched for the Steelers inside linebackers, saying Queen and Wilson. Mike, he says these guys are phenomenal. Is he seeing things through rose-colored glasses, or does he see something that we don't see that perhaps we may see under a different coaching staff? Again, Vince Williams, Mike, saying that Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson are phenomenal inside linebackers.
Could be a little bit of both, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because Vince, like I see his comments on Twitter, and he's, he seems to be a straight shooter. We'll tell you exactly what he feels. So I'm going to put faith in stock into what he is saying. This guy did play at, in the NFL, was a middle backer, knows what he's talking about, played it in those systems or similar systems in Pittsburgh. So I'm trusting his opinion. And, we've seen flashes out of both. It's just the consistency out of them. Now, was that scheme? Was it the communication issues? We'll find out this year because everything's changing. I like those two guys. I like what they bring to the table.
Yeah.
So I'm going to defer to Vince on this one because he has a deeper insight than I do. And, I'm trusting his opinion because, like I said, everything I've read from him has been, a straight shooter. It's not afraid to call people out.
I got to be honest with you, Mike. Yes, I agree. Okay, I'll get back to my point in a second.
Yeah.
I got two more comments here, two more headlines about the defense, and then we'll start doing our thing, Mike. Let me start right here. Moving parts, a lot of new looks. Patrick Graham's hire sparks excitement amongst his players. Mike, I love this almost more than anything else that we talked about today because our defense should be, it's a stacked defense. Our defense has players beyond players, beyond players, beyond players. If you look at the depth of our secondary, if you look at our outside, our rushers, we have more than everybody else. I mean, we have three starting outside linebackers, if you will. You have, again, the jury is out on the inside linebacking room. I think we'll watch this year, and we'll see if Vince, what he's saying is true, and it comes down to the coaching change. And then also, Mike, even though it's not a deep defensive line, you still do have a second-year guy in Harmon. You do have a Cam Hayward. Say what you want about Cam. At the end of the day, Mike, this defense is stacked. So this is encouraging me more than anything being said about our Steelers. I want to see what Patrick Graham brings. I want to see the folds, the creases, the wrinkles that he does with this defense to change things around, to put Watt in different spots, to do all the things again that we were thinking, man, if this team would do this, if our defense would do this, we'll be so much better. Mike, very encouraged by what I'm hearing about Patrick Graham. I cannot wait to see the improvement from what a Graham off defense is compared to a Terrell Austin defense. Mike, one of my favorite comments of the show today, because I love the defense, and I know if you're putting this much money in it, you got to see better results than what you've seen at certain points during the season last year.
Oh, yeah. And you notice, like, defenses tend to take on the personality and energy of their coach. And Terrell Austin, does anyone know anything about his personality?
No.
We knew Dick LeBeau's personality. We do, like, Spags down in Kansas City, if you ever watch any of their games, you could tell his energy and his defenses did that. Patrick Graham has an energy to him. Those Raider defenses, they had an attitude to them. They might not have been that good on paper.
In all fairness, the Raiders always got attitude. That doesn't mean they're going to be good, but they always got attitude.
And it seems like the players are taking on like his attitude, his energy of, hey man, we're going to go out there and do our thing. Or we're going to dictate to you, not the other way around. We're not going to react to what you're doing. We're going to make you react to us. I like that, man. Like we've been talking about all offseason, new energy. Things were stale. You get that shakeup, that new energy. It does wonders.
And finally, Mike, in the Post-Gazette this morning, the NFL is trending toward interchangeable safeties, and it looks like the Steelers will be following suit. Mike, this is something I thought should have been done a long time ago. What's your opinion on this particular Post-Gazette headline from this morning?
Yeah, I like it to where you're not married to one of them being strong safety, one of them being free safety, and it just adds more flexibility on the back end to the defense. Like they're not traditional strong or free safeties, but they have the ability to play both, and you're not sacrificing. So you don't know which one's going to drop in coverage. You don't know which one's going to be your traditional in the box safety. It can change from play to play,
right,
or series to series. And so I like that. And they all have ability to hit. And they all have the ability to play center field. So I like this little changes, man, that can pay big dividends.
All right, let's go through some comments, Mike, as we start to get to that time. Let's go right here. Tyrone is saying, yes, sir, going back to Mark Malone's comments on Rico Duato kicking ass and taking names. Corey, my man, says this, don't drink that. Has there been any improvement, any reports on KJ improvements, or is he under the radar? I'm hearing that he's looking good. He's playing his ass off. And, again, I'm still kind of stumped on why he never really – maybe I'm not stumped because, again, after the mistake last year, I think we could just call it the mistake. It seemed like that's whenever the coaches lost confidence in him. But for me personally, I didn't see things that I wanted to see prior to that. And kick returns, again, albeit it was early in the season, there was still so much left to be desired to see from Caleb. So maybe if he actually shows what he has, again, Mike, and some of the things that we were expecting to see from him, maybe he is looking better. But again, I am hearing that he's playing his ass off and he's gaining the attention of his coaches. So again, until I see him on the field doing these things, I'm going to have a question mark for him specifically, Mike, because again, the way I perceived his play, take out the mistake. Again, there was things areas I thought that I thought should have been better. So again, it's good. It's good word coming out of town. But again, it was good word for him last year as well. And I just didn't see the acceleration. I didn't see much elusiveness on kickoff. Again, I think that there's definitely areas for improvement, Mike, and I think we want to see that.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks. Like last year, he was also buried on the depth chart. We didn't know, no one knew like how well Kenny Gainwell would play last year.
Yeah,
and this year bringing in Rico, it's a numbers game for him. But like some of the stuff I saw from him early on in camp, he looked kind of slow, but the later and more recent footage I've seen from him, he's looking better as the process has gone on. But we'll find out in training camp.
Did anybody see the video or the picture? I'm sorry, of the all the former Iowa Hawkeyes at Steeler camp the other day, and it was like all the former Hawkeyes. And for one, they had the same uniform on basically that you seen them playing college with. And there must have been 50 of these guys, Mike. There was like 30, not really obviously, but probably about 6 or 7 Hawkeyes in this picture. And it's just an observation that we've been making, seeing and noticing over the years, Mike. Every year it's like more Hawkeyes. They love drafting guys out of Iowa.
For some odd reason, they do.
Let's go do right here, Mike Tyrone. He says, yep, Bernard, Everett, or Cook. And Robert says Dowdle was a sledgehammer downhill running back, but with much better vision than Najee. Tyrone says this, I told other pods about Everett. Everyone hated it. I knew he was a steal in the third. And you know what, God, it's sure turning out that way. He's one of the names, Mike, that you're hearing the most about as far as the young kids. I mean, you're hearing good things about Eli. You're hearing good things about Dunker. Yeah. But at the end of the day, this Everett kid, man, this is where it's at. If you're listening to what people are saying from what they're seeing at camp.
Yeah, I hope it translates to actual pads. I hope he's not a t-shirts and shorts kind of warrior. But what I saw from him in college, I think it's going to translate.
Vegas, what's up? Always great to see my man Vegas all the way from Las Vegas. What's up, brother? Vegas says this, Warren ran through the Lions while we shut their run game down completely. I was shocked they did that. You know what? That Lion game was – I mean, it would have been a surprise to me if the Lions wouldn't have basically did this all year. I mean, this was a damn good team. 2 years ago, they were showing you they were a damn good team. But again, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, Vegas. But it kind of was a shocker to me that that Detroit played down last year. I thought they had a lot better team than they had last year. Vegas says, how far can the team go if the D plays up to their pay? I think that they could go damn far. I think you're winning multiple games in the playoffs. Because at the end of the day, if you're playing to the level of your pay and you're the highest paid defense in the league, you know what I mean? I think they could do really well in January and possibly even further if they play to their potential and stay healthy. Quarterback one. I mean, let's just talk about this. I know nobody wants to, but you recall year 2 in the Jets, what happened to Aaron Rodgers, or year 1 or whatever it was.
Year 1.
First snap, ACL snaps. or not his ACL, his Achilles snaps, and the dude was. So I mean, it's reality is it could happen again. So we're talking January, but let's say our 43-year-old quarterback snaps Achilles again. Now we're talking about a whole different season. What the hell do we do? We got two young quarterbacks. We got a backup. So again, we're going to hope that injuries, stay to themselves, stay with other teams this year. Because again, if we don't have to deal with the injury bug and we can play to our potential, Mike, I think we could potentially be playing in February. I'm just being honest.
I do too, man. I'm right there with you. I'm loving our offseason. Like you've mentioned numerous times. Look around the league. Issues here. Oh my God, bad reports out of here. Pittsburgh, just smooth, just flying under the radar.
Absolutely. Let's move along. Tortilla says Rooney heard we need energy and got windmills put in. Vegas, always great seeing you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Always great seeing you on a terrible board, sir. Tyrone says if PQ can tackle and cover and Reed plays better, might bounce back. Whoever that nose is has to take guards off. Absolutely. And you know what? I suspect PQ is going to be better this year under the new coaching system because they're going to listen. I really believe Mike the Patrick Graham is going to make things work that just wasn't working last year and the year before. So again, something we'll certainly be paying close attention to. Peanut Queen, Tortilla says, let's go here to Vegas. Vegas says I could have made as many people miss as KJ did on those kickoff returns, and that's what I'm saying. There was just so much more you would have liked to seen from him that you just weren't getting. And then again, once the incident happened, I don't know. It seemed to take a lot of confidence out from underneath his sails. Mark Malone, the offensive line just needs to give Johnson a crease. Vegas says let him play RB, not kickoff returner. Please let him play running back. Mark Malone, I highly doubt McCarthy will have him on kicks. LOL. Yeah. Tyrone says agree. Mark Weegan will be kick and punt returner.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas says it can happen again, and you will have a bet on it. Robert says Weegan is why Caleb was never used as a kick returner at Iowa. That's interesting. I didn't even consider that. Good point. And then Mark Malone, I'm sorry, Mike says maybe a good idea to keep the Magnum. And the thing is that, Mike, it's from one play to the next. Your quarterback season could be over. Your QB1 season could be done in one play. So, I mean, that is something you always have to keep in mind as well. Be nice to not get the injury bug this year. Mike, why don't you tell everybody about the website?
The2dumyinzers.com. Everyone, check it out. We got all my articles and blogs over there at the2dumyinzers.com. All of Ryan and I's social media over there at the2dumyinzers.com. And if it's your sort of thing, we got the merch store over at the2dumyinzers.com.
I'm going to grab Tortilla real quick. If we keep Rudolph, he says this, call me a New York Knicks fan. Let's get into the trivia, Mike. I did give you the heads up. It is about Pittsburgh Steelers coaches. Today's question of the day and trivia question, guys, is about Steelers coaches. So put on your thinking cap, Mike. Put on your thinking cap board and everybody else. Here we go. Question of the day. Here we go. How many coaches have the Steelers had in their franchise history? Now, we know 4 for sure, don't we? Mm-hmm. Question of the day, plain and simple. How many coaches have the Steelers had in their franchise history? We have had 4 of them in the last 55 years or 60 years or however long it's been. So 4 in the last 60 years, 62 years, because I think Noel came before 70. So question of the day, how many coaches have the Steelers had in franchise history? 333, Tortilla says. Guys, I'm going to just say a couple things and we'll get back to it. I'm going to say this. We are live. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
Mike, the question of the day. How many coaches have the Steelers had in franchise history? You may know, you may not know, you may have a guess. You may not even have a guess if you just want to throw something up, guys. Tyrone saying 4. Mike, how many coaches have the Steelers had in franchise history? What's your thought process?
Oh, we had a lot of bad teams. A lot of bad teams from 33 to 69. I'm going to go with Baker's dozen here. Go 13.
13 coaches. That's not a bad guess.
Baker's dozen for Baker Mayfield, who's coming in next year, baby.
All right. Is this your final answer? 13.
Final answer.
All right. Vegas is saying 12. 12 for Bradshaw. Not a bad guess. Guys, take a guess if you want. Tortilla saying 15. We know that it's more than 4. We know that it's more than 4, of course. Since the success of the Steelers in the early 70s, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin, and now, of course, Mike McCarthy. But the question is, how many has this team had in its history? Mike's saying 13. Vegas is saying 12. Tortilla is saying 15. Ty, 4 guys. How many? How many coaches in the Steelers franchise history? Ty, that's why I wanted to I made sure I wanted to repeat that. So Ty picked up. Ty says, okay, 10. Okay, so 10 is his pick. Let me grab Robert here real quick. Robert says, I hope the Knicks lose the next 3 games. To lose 4 games to 3, I want to take that annoying chant, go New York, and respond that they are gone. I'm only rooting for New York because of the bet that Mike and I have on this show. Otherwise, I'm indifferent. I have no horse in the race. Other than that, it's just to beat Mike. So if it does happen for San Antonio and it does happen that way, I'm okay with it, to be honest, personally. All right, so question of the day, guys. How many coaches has the Steelers had in franchise history? A bunch of different answers on the board, 12, 15, 13, 10. Some guesses some people may know. They may not know, Mike. 13 is your pick, though, for the question of the day. How many head coaches has the Steelers had in their franchise history? Here we go. Here is the answer for the question. How many coaches have the Steelers had in franchise history? Talking about head coaches, of course. I think everybody understood that, Mike. And since 1968, they've had 4. So from 33 to 67, guys, plus the 4, Mike, the total coaches the Steelers had in their franchise history is 17.
Wow. I thought I was over on 13.
I mean, everybody was in a general ballpark. If you don't know, it was a tough one to try to guess, yeah. Mike, but 17 coaches. Isn't that how many quarterbacks the Browns had in the last 20 years?
Last 15 years. Or last 5, it feels like.
Pittsburgh Steelers, everybody, 17 coaches in their history. So there you go. 4 since 1968, and that means 13 from 1933 to 1967. Let me grab a couple more messages here. Corey says this, and don't drink that. He says, hold on, Tortilla. He says, I hope somehow the Spurs and Knicks lose and they give the championship to JPJ. I'm on board. I would be all for that, my friend. Corey says this, I don't care about basketball at all. It's become difficult to watch. I agree. He says, I was a Pistons fan back in 04-05, I think, when it was Prince, the Wallaces, Rasheed, and Ben. And Chauncey Billups. I watched Jordan in his last year. Okay, yeah, I mean, the 90s, of course, when I was growing up, the Magic was my team. I was a big Shaq fan from 92 when he was drafted. Of course, the Bulls were always a big story. I loved basketball as a kid. As a matter of fact, I carried a basketball around for years. There wasn't a day that went by that we didn't hoop. But again, I believe the game has become unwatchable. The NBA. I think the NCAA is still fantastic. Robert says, I root against New York City teams and California teams. I think we made a good point the other day, Mike. We were saying New York has 45 teams. How isn't there more teams in the championship is from New York? You have 30 fucking teams in every sport. Never generally a huge fan, but again, for the bet, I got them. Tyrone, damn, that's crazy. 17. That's what I'm saying, my man. Follows it up by, well, I'm off MFers. Great show, you bastards. We appreciate you. As always, my friend, I hope things are going good for you. I hope you have a great weekend, sir, and we'll see you on Monday. Vegas as well, guys. We will be back again on Monday to do it all again, but let me cover a couple things before we do take off for the day, Mike. If you are going to be watching any of the number of things going on, the Pirates, the Passion, the Riverhounds, the Riveters, NHL, NBA, the UFL Championship, guys, you might as well stop and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner, huh? It's now available in 6 and 12 packs at Giant Eagle and wherever cases are sold. Lots of sports go hand in hand with lots of beer. Mike, the people at Duquesne Pilsner always do good by us, so we like to do the same for them and ask for support there as well. Perhaps maybe you don't drink a lot, that's fine. Swing by their social media, hit the like button, the follow button. It all helps. Know that they would certainly appreciate it all. Mike, we always have Duquesne Pilsner here on tap at the studio for any event that comes along, made right here in Pittsburgh all the time. Mike, it says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, if you are checking out the Duquesne Pilsner websites and social media sites, check us out as well, guys. We're all over the place. We're on Facebook. We're on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, all over. Swing by, hit the follow button, and keep up with what's going on with the two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And if you haven't had a chance to, hit the like button down below. Hit the like button, the subs, share, comment. It all helps us out, guys. We do appreciate it all. And again, I do want to give extra thanks today to Tortilla and to Georgianne, guys, for the super chat as well. Greatly appreciated, guys. It will certainly go back into the show, and you will see it there. Mike, your thoughts on today's show?
Oh, man, if we can get some production out of Roman Wilson this year to where he can settle in to be your number 4 and you're getting really good production out of your rookie Jeremy, look the F out, NFL. Look the NFL, because this team is ready to explode and just ready to kick some ass all over the NFL. Like, we're not that far off, boys. Like, there's a lot of damn good players on this team, and I think we're going to kick some ass.
My opinion is this, Mike. If the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos is the new cream of the crop, I think that we're going to be just fine. I'm going to be honest with you. Like the Kansas City and the Buffalo and, that era that we just went through, them 6 years, it was difficult. And we struggled and we were stale and we had issues. Mike, if the Broncos and the Patriots are the new cream of the crop, I like our chances moving forward, certainly this year and beyond. So that's my thoughts, my extra thought on the day. Mike, I do want to say this will be back Monday to get into so much. Again, a lot going on. The Pirates, a brand new series starting against the Marlins at home tonight. Get down to the stadium. Go check them out, guys. They're back home. Also, the Passion. They are hosting the Cincinnati Gals in football. Mike, this is the last game of the year. 6 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be on YouTube. Do check out the Passion. They are number 1 in the country. Also, the Hounds and the Riveters, that is our guys and gals soccer teams. Mike, they played throughout the weekend. The big matchups, of course, we're talking about the Knicks and the Spurs, and in hockey, the Canes in Vegas, and then the UFL championship tomorrow. It's the last game of the year for the UFL, Louisville versus DC tomorrow at 3 o'clock. That is going to be on. So, guys, a lot of sports. We'll be getting into that and so much more, especially our Pittsburgh Steelers. We're kicking off Mike McCarthy's rookie school next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Rookie sticking around a few extra days to do some work while everybody else heads back to their homes. And I know that they're going to be getting together in the meantime to do work as well, as was mentioned on the show, Mike, with the Wisconsin boys and all them guys all getting together to get work done. So we'll be back Monday at our regular time to get into everything, as a lot is going on throughout the weekend. I want to say thank you so much to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board, guys. You guys always keep the show interesting, and you are the lifeblood of the show. I always say that. I always mean that. We thank you. We love you. Guys are the best. And then also, guys, I want to say everybody that's at home watching, listening, whether you're at the gym, whether you're in the car, whether you're at the workplace, guys, thank you to you guys. All keep this Dum Yinzer world spinning round and round every day of the week as we try to do it for you as well. And I hope we do that for you guys the way you do it for us. You do rock our world. We want to say a big thank you there. Let me grab a couple more of these messages, Mike, and we are going to get ready to wrap it up. Corey at Don't Drink That says, "Oh, don't get me wrong. I used to ball until everyone else got tall. Laugh my ass off. Just don't watch it. It's kind of a pussy sport." He says, he slapped my hand. Okay, then LOL. That's my argument as well. Mark Malone, he says this, support the John Eagle as always, for sure. The John Eagle, baby. Always doing our shopping there. And Corey says this, I'm expecting a drop-off year for May. I am as well. Jones was a good fit for at first and for New England, and then he dropped off. They sold out for Brady, and all those years of success, they're done. Again, if these are the cream of the crop, I'm feeling really good about our Steelers, guys. So much to get into, guys. Mid-June, we'll be back. It's going to be June 15th, Mike. That's as mid-June as it gets. That means we are just right around the corner.
So
from
close.
Steeler football camp in Latrobe, Mike, St. Vincent College, of course, next month. I know that we have people coming into town. Lots of things going on as we get ready to head into this football season. Everybody's excited. I know we are, and I know the board is, and everybody that we communicate certainly is as well. So again, we want to say thank you, everybody, for all your support this week. It was great seeing everybody. It was great talking to everybody throughout the week. I think we've got a lot talked about. We can't wait to get back at it again next week. I do want to say, Mike, anything for you before we do take off?
No, have a good weekend, everyone. I expect you all back here Monday.
All right. Yeah, we do hope to see everybody back. We'll
Yes.
certainly be back first thing Monday at
Have a
our
good old
regular
time.
time to get back into it and start dissecting what it is we have to do next in this offseason. A pretty damn good offseason to this point. So a lot still on the coming along the way. We can't wait to get back at it. Mike, one more time. Let's spin around to you. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, my friend. We'll be back to do it again Monday. We hope to see everybody then. For Derpy, for Finch, for RB, for Chop, Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. Try to stay cool. Lots of stuff to watch as far as sports goes. So we'll be back Monday to talk about that and so much more right here on the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great weekend. I just want to say peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Have a great one. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.